Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Next coming out, it is Saturday, and I'm playing a little bit more Professor Layton, X Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I don't know. It really should be X Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Just because there's absolutely no battling involved. Whatever, we complained about that before. So, last time that I was doing the stream, well, basically we did a whole lot of running around the town trying to figure things out, solve puzzles. And also, we were trying to unravel exactly why they suspect Espella of being a witch, which I guess apparently she's got some dangerous secrets behind her, so... And I'm sure we have not quite yet unraveled those as of late. Well, I mean, we do know that Espella is the storyteller's daughter now, we know that. But I'm sure there's some more layers on top of that. And on top of that, like, we did meet the storyteller, and apparently the storyteller is just as flummoxed about issues involved with why there are witches around here as before. Ooh, hello. I'm getting a weird error about video buffering. Use low latency toggle under advanced menu. That is weird. I think I'm getting like some strange latency with Twitch. Okay, if there's any kind of weird issues, let me know. But it looks like I'm not dropping any frames, so I think that's just on my end. Anyway, let's go ahead and start that up, shall we? Go over to the game tab and let's... Oh, I forgot to grab the stylus. Whoops. Can I do this in such a way that I won't accidentally disconnect the card? Okay, cool. Got it. Anyway, so yeah, I think we are joining up with Phoenix and Maya again, from what I remember. Actually, we can take a look at the move tab. Go to the Inquisitor's Hall. Gotcha. I like this game. It's easy to, like, jump in, jump out. It's better at it than some games that I've dealt with in the past. Oh no, the dog. Ruff, ruff! Wait a minute, that aggressive bark. Please tell me that isn't... Scruffy! Constantine. Aha! It's Constantine! He looks happy to see us. Wish I could say the feeling is mutual. Once bitten, twice shy. That's pretty much sums up me right now. Really? I don't know. I think he's looking much friendlier today, if you ask me. Don't tempt it. Do not try. See? Come on, Nick. Pet him just once. No. This mutt really hates me. I'm trying to remember. This was something in Ace Attorney. I swear this was an Ace Attorney. Where, like, for whatever reason, animals just hate him for some reason. Or somebody. I'm not sure. Well, if it isn't Sir Blue Knight. Exactly what are you doing over there on all fours? Why don't you ask your dog? Oh, Inquisitor Barnum. Glad to see you again. Actually, there's something we'd like to ask you about. Come on, Nick. Stand up already. I'd like to meet that mutt's owner face to face. How foolish. Oh god, please do not slit my throat. Constantine happens to be mine, and a true knight's companion he is. He needn't waste time sinking his teeth into the likes of you. I had a hunch. So, Constantine really is your dog, huh? Gotta admit, the nerve of this guy. He just sits back and lets his dog bite people. I mean, me. He only bites crooks. What does that say about you? Never mind that. What is it that you want to talk about? Just make it quick, Sir Blue Knight. So, you Inquisitors are the ones who investigate incidents of magic in this town, aren't you? Yes, of course. If you don't mind, we'd like to ask you about that unsolved incident with magic. The unspeakable unsolved case. It's like, that is execution worthy. Come here, into the fire. There's one thing you must never forget. The Knights of Inquisition excel at their work. Right. Stop fluffing your backside. All incidents of magic perpetrated by the witches are dealt with by the Inquisitors, without exception. Spoken with that usual calm and collected air of confidence. That's interesting. You see, we heard different. Apparently, there's one particular incident that still remains unsolved. Something about an alchemist being murdered. Ring any bells? What? Who did you get that information from? Well, High Inquisitor Darklaw. Yeah, you can't hold that over us now. Well, why the blazes didn't you say so? You could have saved us some time. I didn't know it would. How is it my fault? The High Inquisitor has put me on the spot by leaking such information to the likes of you. Well, I suppose that leaves nothing for it. I shall tell you the whole story, since I do not believe in doing things by halves. Please, go ahead. We're all ears. It's doing things by halves, unless, of course, it's having things with the sword that he has. It was 3 months ago that an alchemist living near the town square was murdered. Sorry, Inquisitor Barnum, but I'm kind of lost already. Is there a difference between alchemy and magic? When it comes to something that difficult, it'll do no good asking me. Huh? Well, it's simple enough. Why don't you persecute them or prosecute them or whatever, though? It seems that while the townspeople respected them, they also treated him with caution. They respected him? He used his skills to make medical concoctions and acted much like a physician. The efficacy of his cures was almost like magic. He was famous within his neighborhood. In fact, he was sometimes referred to as Dr. Belduc by the townspeople. At any rate, it's safe to say that Sir Belduc was no witch. How can you say for sure? That's simple. Sir Belduc was a Bullshit! Then he was a warlock! Well, can't really argue with that. Sir Belduc came to a mysterious end 3 months ago. A mysterious end? There were two things about his death that cannot be explained rationally. Firstly, the murder scene. His body was discovered in his residence in the study. His room was locked. There was no conceivable way the crime could have been committed, except by witchcraft. Isn't that what people call a locked room mystery? Uh-oh, what? No, it's nothing really. So, what was the other mysterious thing? Shut up, my heart. You don't need to confuse him with our, current worldly ways. Secondly, until then, all incidents involving witches had been foretold in the story. Foretold in the story? In other words, predicted by the storyteller? However, the murder of Sir Belduc did not appear in the story. Such a thing had never occurred before. So not only was the one unsolved incident in Labyrinthia's history, but it was also the only incident not to be predicted by the storyteller. Again, this storyteller seems to be, pretty spot on, except, flaky on certain things. So, are there things outside of even his grasp? I keep seeing these, weird issues with Twitch. And also, I'm seeing, my output is fine, but my input is shaky. Hope that doesn't come to haunt me. This definitely sounds worth investigating. You certainly are an interesting one, Sir Blue Knight. Huh? You really think you can solve this incident alone, when the Knights of the Inquisition have been working on it for 3 months? Well, I'm one of the only enigmas around here, sir! I must say, that is some confidence. We won't know unless we try. You may risk becoming the target of some terrifying witch's vengeance. I'm hoping that was a joke. Well, I suppose you may as well take a look. Who knows? You may even find something. Sir Belduc's residence is just beyond the town square. Ask anyone around there, they'll soon point you in the right direction. Thank you, Inquisitor Barnum. Sir Blue Knight, I believe our courtroom battles are far from over. Until we meet again in court. I'll see you then, Inquisitor. Smooth. Okay, so I don't believe there's any coins in this room. I think I already, found all of those. But I can look at statues and things. What a pretty lady, with a ruthless face and a scary sword, ready to cut someone's head off. So many memos. Magic crime is on the rise from the looks of it. Aw, picture of a smiling Barnum with his dog. Oh, I think I've already seen that. Okay, you know what? Probably seen everything in this room. No. Don't have... Wait, return it. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's move. Anyways, the location that we are headed to is here. Very smooth interface. I appreciate it. Well, we've reached the square, but I wonder where the alchemist's residence is. Hey, Nick, look over there! There's a street leading away from the square. Hey, you're right. Let's go take a look. Gotcha, sir. It is refreshing to be playing with, like, just Phoenix and Maya again. Which is unfortunate because it doesn't look like that's going to be happening in any legitimate case for quite a while. But oh well. So this is Sir Belduke's residence. Definitely looks like an alchemist's house. I've never seen plants like these before. So what do we do now? Just because the owner's deceased, we can't exactly go barging in. But have you noticed just how well kept his yard is? It looks like someone's still living here. Someone has definitely been doing the upkeep around here, that's for sure. But who? Hey, who's that over there? Oh. Hello, small one.
My sincere apologies. I'm afraid, medicaments are no longer being provided here.
Huh?
Did you not come here for medicaments of some kind?
No, we didn't come here for that. We're here to investigate the incident, the one involving Sir Belduke.
Forgive me if I'm mistaken, but you do not look like members of the Knights of the Inquisition.
I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. And you, I'm guessing you live here?
Indeed. My name is Jean Greyer. I was butler to the late Master Belduke.
Wow, butler! This must be my first time meeting a real one! Wait a minute. No, well, okay. Actually, no, now that I think about it, that is a reference to, yeah. Goddamn. Gotta avoid Shelley de Killer. Well, Mr. Greyer, if you don't mind, I've been told that the incident involving your master was shrouded in mystery. Has it got something to do with the Great Witch Bazella? We're trying to investigate that at the moment.
The Great Witch Bazella? Am I right in supposing that you are defending a spell against it?
No, let's just put that aside, sir. Well, actually, yes we are. So, you know Espella, do you?
That goes without saying. Everyone around here knows her.
Do you think you can help us? We're here looking for leads.
While he was alive, the Master taught me the value of investigating the truth that governs the natural world. If you too are investigating the truth, then it would be against his teachings for me not to cooperate with you.
Hello, George. How's it going?
Would you both like to come in? We can discuss the matter further inside.
That'd be great. Thank you, Mr. Greyer. Damn it, now I want tea. Whoa, spoken like a true butler. He's a pretty cool guy, isn't he, Nick? Again, if he frickin' tea. Earl Grey hot. What is this room?
This is the room that Master Belduke kindly provided as my accommodation.
So, is this room where the incident took place?
That would be the Master's study. It's the room right next door. However, the state of the room has been carefully preserved since the incident 3 months ago.
Well, thank God for me. At least they know something about investigations.
As such, entry into this room is not currently permitted.
Bullhorse. Go grab yourself an Inquisitor Barnum. Really? Bummer. Is that by order of the Knights of the Inquisition, by any chance?
Yes, and as I have lived with Master since an early age, they also decided it would be only fitting for me to stay on and keep the place in order.
So you've been looking after this place ever since Sir Belduke passed away?
Yes, that's correct. Now then, is there anything further you wish to discuss?
I guess first let me pillage your entire room for coins. You shall not pass in this room. It's a very violent little child. Books and documents are all neatly placed on the shelves. Grey Earl is a very tidy person. Maybe Jean could teach me some alchemy and you can keep your desk tidy, Nick. Oh, please. I'm plenty tidy. The town is over there. It's the opposite direction from the bell tower. Pretty view like this makes you forget all about witches and murders. I don't know, not quite. We're directly next to a murder scene. It's kind of difficult to forget about stuff like that when the blood has already been spilled. Is that a mini bar? What's inside all those bottles? Maya, don't drink it. Who knows what strange mixtures the alchemist kept in those bottles. You are going to turn into a toad. Okay, was that 2 coins? I think there's like one more. Ah, yes. Got it. Oh, I can go over to that side of the room. First off, what's this suspicious-looking spill? AKA wine. Or, you know, bottle of grape juice. The floor's been singed. The legendary fire didn't spare even the alchemist's house. Why would the legendary fire manifest itself just in this room? Grail probably dropped a candle. Yeah, probably. Either that or that's a piece of, you know, a hint of what happened. There's wine in the bottles. Meh. Big cough. Oh, shit. No, that was just the exit. Sorry. Actually, come to think of it, I actually haven't inspected out there. I'll do that. Now that I'm remembering. That's a strange place to put a vase. Seems to serve the same purpose as a mailbox. There are letters sticking out of it. I normally call that weird, but since it's an alchemist's house, it's sort of fitting. Some plant is growing in that vase, too. I wonder if it's intentional. Nope. Seeds just sort of fell in there, and he doesn't really go and check his mail, so they have just been shrouding a whole bunch of vines and thorns and roots. It's about the only functional way to do anything with bills. The bell tower is visible over the treetops. So the town square is in that direction. The bell tower is really tall. How come we've never heard the bell? Maybe it only rings when there's like a fire. What fruit is that? They look so juicy! I'm gonna try one. This is an alchemist's garden, Maya. I advise against eating anything that grows here. Man, you are a prude. We got a crow. Oh, yeah, crow's nest. I've almost hit 100 coins. Can I do it? 96. Okay, how many more is there? Burp! Okay, shoot. I think that... hold on a second. Let me check the menu real quick. Did I get all of them? I'm currently at this location. Yeah, I got all of them. Okay. Forward, march. Now let's talk to you. Is there any possible way we can convince you to let us into that room? I know it's probably not likely.
As I mentioned a moment ago, I know very little about this matter. As a matter of fact, it might be better to ask the Inquisitors. I can tell you about one thing, though, namely what occurred before the incident.
Before the incident?
Yes. It was 3 months ago, around the time that Master Belduke was murdered.
Yay,
We
exposition.
were on our way back from collecting specimens for research, and it was already into the small hours of the morning. There was a thunderstorm on the way, and as the storm drew nearer, we quickly made our way home.
Okay. Right. I love this little twist of just, like, magical incantations and things. So this is just normal. This is a Tuesday. Oh, dear. Whenever you see a burb, you're going to scream burb and refuse to call it a bird. Hey, that's totally reasonable.
But Master Belduke, well, how can I put this?
He was a bit of a kook.
No.
He reacted in a most peculiar way. Unlike others who saw it, he seemed unsettled, as if he was truly afraid of something.
It was bigger than his house, and therefore...
After the bell tower appeared, he changed completely. Master Belduke became a different man.
Interesting. See, I still have this theory. I still have a theory about how, like, a bunch of people that are within this town have been taken from the real world, and that perhaps just by rekindling something of their memory or something about the location, they can be, like, brought back to sanity and reality. I mean, that's what happened with Phoenix and Maya. So, for all I know, a whole bunch of the people within this town are captive in this horrifying story. Wait a second! Did you just say a bell tower appeared? Hey, that explains it. That must be what High Inquisitor Darklaw meant when she mentioned an incident involving the bell tower.
To this day, I do not know what the Master was so afraid of.
But hey, it's just a theory. A game theory. Do you think it was connected in some way to his death? I think it must have been magic. I mean, for a bell tower to just appear like that. Either that or some very, very crafty Amishman. Mr. Grail, do you mind if we have a look around? I know that the Inquisitors have already carried out a full investigation, but there just might be a clue or two with some kind of connection to the Great Witch.
Well, I suppose. Providing I am allowed to accompany you, of course. There's sensitive equipment everywhere, and it is my responsibility to take care of it.
I understand. We'll be careful. We're gonna smash all the beakers. I wonder how the professor and Luke are doing with their visit to the storyteller. Horribly. Yeah, I've been wondering about that too. Chance to meet Labyrinthia's creator. Let's just hope they don't upset the guy and have some terrible plot twist written about them. That'd only happen if it was you that visited the storyteller, Nick. The professor would never let anything like that happen. I got a feeling they'll come back with some pretty useful leads. We have to do our best too, Nick. Let's keep up our side of the investigation. You got it, Maya. We're all in this together. Come on. Let's see what we can find. It's funny because they haven't really discovered much of anything aside from the storyteller is shrugging his arms, being like, I don't know what the hell's happening. My story is out of control. Witches, bitches. Right. Tower that appeared out of frickin' nowhere. According to Grey Earl Sir Belduke's butler, the bell tower appeared mysteriously after lightning struck one evening. For some reason, Sir Belduke became seriously agitated upon its appearance. The bell tower square is under continuous guard. Could this be related in some way to the death of the alchemist? Interesting. Why would it spook him so?
The Great Witch Bazella will be tried in the court?
That will be Labyrinthia's final chapter, a fitting end for a town ruled by witches and their magic.
Am I to believe that this final chapter has already begun?
That is correct, and there is no way you can possibly change its final outcome.
I wonder about that. You see, I gave my word to a young lady. I promised that without fail, I would be able to rescue her. If I'm not mistaken, the Great Witch trial will begin in 2 weeks' time, the same day on which you will be holding your next parade. I believe that should give us sufficient time to show you what we can do.
Such a smug countenance. I find it intolerable.
I beg your pardon?
2 weeks from now, you say? I'm afraid that information is out of date, Herschel Layton.
Out of date? What do you mean?
My parade will be held the day after tomorrow, according to the amended
Story bullshit! What? The day after tomorrow? That's not fair!
Now that's the kind of countenance I want from the characters in my story.
What?
That's what I do, didn't you know? I decide the fate of characters who have no knowledge of their future. It would appear that you are not yet fully aware of the gravity of the situation. Let me see now. Just for fun, I'll write you a little story. A story full of surprises and a few tears.
Please don't. You made a poll link and put it in the chat, really? Give me a moment. Layton sounds like the call agents from Hat in Time. I mean, if you hear his voiceover, it's something like that. I don't know, maybe just a little bit more British.
I shall enjoy seeing the emotions of the characters as they play their parts.
A story for us?
Stories are a fixture of this town. You would be wise to embrace them. Let's see, I think we need a stimulating incident. We shall have a witch, some witchcraft, and perhaps a little death.
Death? You can't...
Oh, but I can. Let me see. This is a golden opportunity to use the alchemist's residence. How about this? Your comrade meets with death by golden curse in the alchemist's residence. This could be a truly interesting story.
No! No way!
Feel free to act as you wish when playing your role in the story.
How can you?
Oh, dear God. The beginning of a new tragedy, or farce. The victim of a golden curse lies in the dwelling of a user of false alchemy. A man from afar falls to a golden curse, and a woman from afar cries out in grief. The woman is captured. Her dark trial begins. The fiery pit will cleanse all her sins. Oh, fuck you, man. You can't put a link in... send the link via direct message to me. I don't think I have it set up for links.
A man from afar falls to a golden curse, and a woman from afar cries out in grief. This must be referring to Maya and Mr. Wright!
If we don't do something, Mr. Wright and Miss Fay will be in danger. There's no time to lose, Luke. Let's go and find them.
Right you are, Professor!
The story has already been written. And no matter what you do, you will not change the result.
I do not agree. What do we do next can change the future in any number of ways.
I'm sure that's what you want to believe. In fact, a knave outburst like that could be a poignant plot point. Please be my guest. Your words may help to raise tension and bring a little excitement to my story.
You monster!
Luke, now is not the time. We need to help Mr. Wright and Maya.
Okay, let's go, Professor. Better hurry!
Run like the wind, you assholes! So what golden curse we talking about? Is he just gonna be like turned to a golden statue?
Professor, do you hear a flapping sound coming this way?
The sounds of a large bird, perhaps?
Large bird? Oh. It's not too large of a bird.
Ah, that's the owl we saw in the audience room.
It's holding a letter in its mouth. Not to mention watching us intently.
Perhaps if he wants to tell us something, I'll try talking to him and see what he wants. What can we do for you?
Woot, 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 woot.
I got it, Professor! Hoot, that's the owl. Says the letter was delivered to the storyteller 3 months ago.
To the storyteller? If that's so, then we can't very well keep it. After all, it's wrong to read letters addressed to someone else.
Oh, grow a backbone. The golden curse is Wario throwing coins at you. That'd be good. I would say it more like Wario just like throwing farts in your direction. Gold coins would be very nice, no matter how like hard he pelts them at you.
That's what the owl said. But he also said there's absolutely nothing written on the sheets of parchment inside the envelope. Look, Professor. See? They're totally blank.
So you opened it up? I thought I taught you better. A letter with nothing written in it. That is indeed most curious.
And another thing, Professor. The owl says this letter was sent by the alchemist.
What's that, my boy? Written by the alchemist. Do you remember what the storyteller wrote in that story he penned a moment ago? A victim of a golden curse lies in the dwelling of a user of false alchemy. Which probably means the place at which this incident will occur
is the home of the one who sent this letter. In other words, at the alchemist's house, right, Professor?
It appears the address of the sender, Sir Belduke, is written on the envelope.
The butler girl, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Which means
Which means we had better make our way there immediately.
You forgot the name. It was Grey Earl, based off of like the tea.
Hoot, 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 hoot. Thanks, Mr. Hoot.
Goodbye.
The address on the envelope is somewhere near the town square.
That's a little far from here, Professor. We might not make it in time. I think we'd better run.
Look, my boy, we have the need. We have the need to rent a steed. Oh, son of a bitch.
I think you're right, Professor. That would be far quicker than running.
Do you even have money to be able to afford? Okay, apparently they do.
Quickly, Luke. There's no time to lose. Hey, easy, boy. This horse is certainly spirited.
Spirited Away, you might say. No. What was that? Actually, wait. No, that wasn't the movie. Wasn't there a Spirit Horse movie that came out? I don't even remember. Say, Nick, have you noticed how the color of that wall is different from all the other walls in the room? I think I've investigated enough crime scenes by now to notice something as obvious as that, Maya.
I'm embarrassed to admit it, but actually, there was a small fire here a while ago. It was my fault. The wall ended up a little bit singed in the process.
Now that you mention it, there are some signs of a fire on the floor there, too.
Yes, that's correct. Anyway, I decided to paint the wall myself.
Looks like Mr. Grey Earl is way handier with his herbs than with a paintbrush. Splotch.
I let a candle set fire to some dry straw. In all my time as a butler, I've never made such a major blunder.
Nah, it's not that bad. You're being a little hard on yourself. That's right, it's not so bad. You think that's bad? You should see Nick try and do laundry. Now that's a major blunder. Okay, that was one time. Anyways. Let's go check out Mr. Belduke's study. While we're here, could you show us around your room a little, Mr. Grey Earl?
Of course. If it'll bring you any closer to finding the truth, be my guest. However, as the Knights of the Inquisition have ordered that the crime scene be left undisturbed, I must ask that you refrain from touching anything while you are in the study.
Sure, we'll be careful.
The alchemist's study.
Neato. Well, let's just go ahead and pad for time. Oh, good. Pentagrams. Well, like pseudo-pentagram. Almost. Actually, no, that's a different symbol, right? Alchemy. I don't know much about alchemy. Hey, look, Nick! There on the floor. It's one of those, whatchamacallits, you know, a crop circle, right? That's an alchemist circle, Maya. We're not in a wheat field.
I'm sorry to repeat myself, but please be sure not to touch anything.
You heard him, Maya. That means keep your hands to yourself. No problem. I'll just do the touching with my eyes. With your eyes? Sure, we'll be careful. Breaks everything. Basically. That's about the gist of it. Let's see, is there a ladder in here that we can comment on? That'd be great. Nope. Okay, first of all, let me take a look for coins and such. Apparently, getting coins from the room is perfectly fine. Oh, interesting. We have one of these things in here. So, did this individual know a thing or two about law? Hmm? Any more coins? Ah, random coin in the bookcase. Okay, one more. Come on, one more. Okay, don't want that. Oh, we did it. Got it. Oh, we're nearly there. One more away. Okay, let's say... Oh, actually, I think I see something from behind that picture. I'm going to wait on doing that. Cabinet might have contained the alchemist's research materials, but it's been emptied. Only some junks that's been left behind. Okay, and then we... Oh, what the heck is all this? It looks like a load of white powder has been scattered around the desk. Massive amounts of cocaine. About this white powder. Has it been here since the incident?
That's right. It was just like this when I entered the room on the morning following the incident.
Don't touch anything, except you basically robbed me. Yep.
I have left it this way ever since.
Right. So this guy is a major cokehead. Got it. I guess someone must have dropped a container full of some medicine.
Please try not to walk in it. You may leave footprints.
Now that you said it, all I want to do is leave little old footprints all over the place. It'd be like, Maya was here. Don't do it, lady! Okay, so we got a globe. That's a globe of the night sky. The alchemist was also an astronomer. Or maybe he was into astrology? Right. You could potentially be burned at the stake for looking at that stuff, too. A curiously shaped implement. No idea what it was used for. This could be a device for turning bread into gold. Gotta love that, that active imagination she's got. Okay. Anything else? I don't really know. I guess we could take a look at the circle on the floor. Oh, that's a magic circle. It's neatly drawn, and it sure looks magical. I guess that's the kind of stuff you're into, being a spirit medium. Slaps Maya and puts her in timeout corner. No touch! Hey, that's a pretty little picture over there. We could use a picture like this back at the office, don't you think? We could hang it right next to Charlie. I'm trying to remember who that Charlie is. What is it, Nick? The wall behind this picture frame. The wall? Oh, that. It seems like there's some kind of green mark on the wall just by the painting. I wonder if there's something hidden behind this painting. Well, that means we have to touch something. Hey, Nick, look at this. The wall behind the painting, it's painted green. Is there a problem? I'll say so, Mr. Green Blue Hair. No problem. This could be some kind of clue. Noted. Okay, well, I got that. But I can't touch anything. Well, I just did. Let's see. Anything else? So, yeah, there's crap on the floor. I think I basically looked at everything. Let's see if we can chat with you now. Speak up, little sir. What's the matter, Mr. Grey Arrow?
Oh, it's actually, it's that pendant. I must say, I find it fascinating.
Oh, you mean this old thing? It's called a Magatama.
Magatama.
Yep. You could say it's kind of like my source of power, I guess.
I understand. Stones are often charged with energy, after all.
The pendant you're wearing is pretty neat, too. Such a mysterious color.
Oh, this... It's an amethyst. Master Belduke asked me to wear it.
An amethyst.
The amethyst brings about good vibrations in an alchemy sense.
Mr. Grey Earl.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just remembering, Master Belduke. He gave me this stone and accepted me as his assistant alchemist. But now, Master, such is the order of the natural world.
Dark. Seems like Grey Earl really misses him. He must have really respected Sir Belduke. In theory, yes. But we'll see. Well, I think we just about investigated everything we can for now. But we didn't find any leads on the Great Witch. Oh, Mr. Grey Earl?
Yes, what is it?
Is there anywhere else you can think of where we might find more clues?
Let me see, Well, there's a cellar under the study. That's where the master kept his research materials.
A cellar under this room?
Yes. There's a trap door in the floor leading down to the cellar.
A room containing Belduke's research materials. Woo! Sounds like dirty laundry! If you don't mind, I'd like to have a quick look at the room.
I see. Very well. If you'll please just wait a moment.
Open up the hatch. Ooh, sweet.
That ladder leads down into the cellar, but be careful, it's rather dark down there.
Looks like it might be a little cramped down there, too.
That's true. Perhaps it's a little bit small for the both of you at once.
Okay, Nick, this seems more like your kind of thing. Why can't you go? You're the smaller one. You know, you're the one that could probably crawl around the ducts like a monkey. What do you mean? I don't know. I guess you're just more suited to small, dark, damp places. I'm not a rat, you know. Come on. You know that's not what I mean. Just, look, I'll just stay up here and snoop around for some clues. That's not right either. It's not snooping, Maya, it's investigating. Anyway, you do that. I'll be back. Takes all the drugs out of the room. Better not see this. Oh, it's fine. We're not druggies.
Well, I should return to my room. Please, give me a call as soon as you have both finished.
Okay, got it. I don't like the whole splitting up thing, you know. It's like Scooby-Doo. Breaking up into separate parties, you're just gonna end up getting hurt. It's a little chilly down here. Doesn't look like it's been used much. The air is so musty and stale. Anyway, I better hurry up and take a look around. Okay, so we got voodoo dolls, random crystals of nonsense, prayer beads. I'm gonna get a goat. Looks like a sculpture of a goat. A sculpture, rather. I think something about it gives me the creeps. Wait a second, is this... This thing is completely made of gold! What? Could this be the result of alchemy? I guess in this town, anything's possible. If Maya were here, she'd break her back trying to take that goat away with her. That's strange. Almost everything in this room is covered in a layer of dust. Everything except for that goat, that is, seems to have been kept in pristine condition. Well, it's a giant, shiny gold goat, so of course. Why wouldn't you? There we go! 100 gold! We've hit the 100 club, and, you know, let's just wait and do a puzzle, and then we'll immediately lose it all. Okay, any more? Let me see. Where's the last one? Is it in a potted plant? Or in a thing behind the stairs? Or somewhere up in the ceiling? Come on, I know there's one more coin. I need my fix! Oh, I did it. There it is. Dunzo. Alright, so what else? What else? I see there's a random picture thing on the wall. I want to look at this well. What? Well, well, well. If it isn't a well. Looks like it's still in use, too. I'm guessing you need quite a bit of clean water for alchemy. Come to think of it, I haven't noticed any plumbing here in Labyrinthia. Yep. Everyone just shits in a hole in the ground, and, you know, that'll cover it. Anything else with this? This well must have been built here specifically to provide water for alchemical research. Okay, probably not. Random old plants, probably for herbs and things. The poor potted plants are starting to wither. I'm gonna get some water for them. No! Don't mess around with the crime scene, goddammit! Let's see. I guess I'll look at that. Well, alright. What's on his table? Well, 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 this well doesn't look very well. Looks like Sir Belduke studied alchemy here too. I don't see anything medicine-like, but there is a lot of equipment. This desk is pretty messy. Not a speck of dust, though. I guess Grey Earl must be keeping it clean. There's a wooden box by the desk, filled with all kinds of junk. A doll is peeping out of the box. I wonder if it was left by a little girl who was once one of the doctor's patients. That's cold enough to think about. Well, looks like I've pretty much seen all there is to see down here. The room doesn't seem to have been used much, and there's nothing I can see that might provide a lead. If I stay here any longer, I might just end up covered in dust myself. Not to mention standing here sighing is kind of clogging up my lungs. Maybe it's time I head back upstairs. I should probably see how Maya's doing. Make sure she isn't, like, pilfering nonsense upstairs. What the heck's going on out there?
This is the alchemist's house. We have to hurry.
Professor! Wait for me!
Who are the folks on the left? Wait. Alright, we're just gonna, like, skip past that?
Miss Faye.
Hi, Professor. What's up? You look flushed.
Everyone's about to die!
Where's Mr. Wright? Have you seen him?
Oh, Nick. He's just down in the basement doing some investigating. He should be back up soon. So how did it go? Did you get to see the storyteller?
Yes, bad news.
Please, get Mr. Wright immediately. It's safer if we're all together in one place. I'll explain later. Just hurry.
Huh?
As things stand, Mr. Wright is in serious danger.
Nick's in danger? What do you mean?
I just came from the storyteller, lady. There's no time.
I have reason to believe that a witch will appear here soon.
Oh, joy. Great.
All is as written in the story.
Do you happen to be the great witch Bazella?
Concern yourselves not with who I am, but rather with what you will now become.
Are we going to become the, the golden statues? I feel like Phoenix is going to have to stay not a statue if this ends up getting to court. Miss Primstone, what in the ever-loving heck's going on? Oh, dearie, dearie me, whatever is the matter, child? You look positively flustered. Sir Belduke is no longer a resident here. You'll need to go elsewhere for your medicaments. I know that! Let me through! It's a matter of life and death! Life and death, you say? If so, then I may foresee a hit ballad. Raise up your hearts and sing with Birdly. My bird is Cracker, first, second, and thirdly cut. I hate both of you. Ah, this must be that rival Mr. Bartley was talking about. Anyway, I'm in a hurry. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Bad things going down. Run for your life. Oh, God, why is the drunk bastard following us? Crap. Jesus.
Professor!
That's gonna be hard to buff out.
It wasn't me!
Oh, who's gonna believe you, though?
What the?
Uh-oh. We're in trouble.
Professor.
He was turned to gold, but with a cool pose. Then immediately lost his freaking arm.
The words the storyteller wrote really did come true. And in the worst possible way. A man from afar falls to a golden curse. At first, I thought he was referring to Mr. Right. But I got it all wrong. It was about the professor.
Crap, so now we're gonna have to defend Maya in court. And conveniently, Phoenix was nowhere in the area, so that he would know what the heck happened. Good. Hello, Golden Man. Professor Layton. I love how there's just no text for Layton there. Professor Layton was turned into a gold statue through witchcraft in the alchemist residence. How could this be? Stoic. Do I want to save? Oh, of course. Let's see. Apparently I skipped all those puzzles. Ouch, shit. Sorry. I was in a little bit of a hurry. I didn't want to, like, look around for some reason. Chapter 4, the Golden... Yep. Court case. It doesn't make sense. How has it come to this? The darn witch. Why did it have to happen to the professor of all people? Just be thankful it didn't happen to you. You gotta believe me, Nick! I may be a spirit medium, but I'm no witch. Don't say you're a spirit medium. Don't worry, I know it wasn't you. Say, have you seen Luke today? I haven't seen him since last night. He was crying all night. I didn't know what to say to him. No kidding. He's the one suffering the most from all this. Poor kid. He probably needs some time alone with his grief. We should leave him be. Yeah, he shouldn't have to see this trial. It'd be too hard for him. I wonder if they're gonna bring in Layton as, like, a piece of evidence. That'd be great. Oh, it's Isabella. What are you doing here, Isabella? Have you been cleared of the accusations?
No, not yet. If only it was that easy. It's just that I'm not technically under arrest, so I got special permission to come here. I'm free to go wherever I like within this building.
Ah, I see.
I heard about Mr. Layton. It's awful. He was such a good man.
I'm sorry, Isabella.
Huh? What are you apologizing for?
We were supposed to find clues connected to Bazella, but we couldn't find anything. And now the professor's been...
No, don't say that. It's not your fault. And I don't believe a word of what they say about Maya. She isn't a witch.
Thank you, Isabella. Don't touch my small bean, Maya.
Mr. Wright? Do you mind if I assist you in court today?
What do you know about legalese?
I know I may not be of much use, but I'll do what I can. I want to help you and Maya.
Isabella? Excuse me. Hello, what? Oh, hey! Little runt. You're...
Grael, butler of the late Mr. Belduke. I've come to inquire after Miss Maya. It is most regrettable what happened yesterday.
Oh, thank you for coming all the way here. You look really pale, Jean. You look pretty pale to begin with. Are you alright?
Oh, please, don't worry about me. It's merely that since the incident, sleep has eluded me.
Uh-oh.
I spent the night searching through Master's notes on alchemy. I hope there may be some mention of a method by which something turned to gold may be reverted back to its original form.
If there isn't, well, we're going to be ending the Layton series pretty early here. Have I ever tried cookie cake? No, I have not, but that sounds amazing. You were looking for a way to rescue the professor?
Human fate is often cruel, but that's also why we must never lose hope.
Jean. Defender accused! The trial is about to start. Proceed to the chamber. Yes, we're coming. Nick! Cheer up, Maya. I'm not just gonna let them sentence you.
I just wish all this would stop already, whether someone's a witch or not. No one deserves to be burned.
I know. I can't stand for it either. Let's burn this guy in his place.
If you'll kindly excuse me now, I must return to my duties.
No problem. We, appreciate you coming to see us. See ya. Something's bothering me. Jean seems somewhat odd today.
Let's go, Mr. Wright. The trial's about to begin.
I wonder if maybe Jean has been, like, possessed. Well, shoot.
The trial of
Hello, Judge.
Faye shall now begin, as scheduled. Knights of the court, are you ready to cross your swords of justice?
Basically a big cookie, but the texture is... Okay. Well, I've had, like, giant cookies before. I don't know. The first thing I think when, like, I see, like, cookie cake is one of those, like, really, really soft cookies. Like the ridiculously ones where it's basically just sort of like not really a pastry, but it's an extremely, really soft sugar cookie.
Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum always has his sword ready for the work of justice.
Defense ready, Your Honor.
It's all I know.
At this stage, I just gotta give it all I've got.
What was that?
It would appear the defender has thrown down the gauntlet, Sir Barnum. Now, before we begin, may I have a word with you, defender?
Yes, Your Honor.
Last time we met, you stood in this court as an apprentice baker. In all honesty, when I saw you for the first time, I thought to myself, a baker should stick to bread baking.
Is that so?
And cookie cakes.
What a fine first impression I made.
However, today you are not merely some befuddled maker of sweet buns. I'm obliged to fully recognize you as a knight of law and justice, on par with Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum.
That's pretty freaking impressive that apparently I've climbed the ranks that quick. Show off.
Now may your duel begin. Fight bravely and expose the truth behind this heinous crime.
All right, we're all counting on you, Inquisitor Barnum.
I knew she was a witch as soon as I laid my eyes on her. She's got witch written all over her. Why not put the baker on trial? Bake the baker, I say!
Bullshit. Bullshit.
They treat him
So
like
much
some
bias.
sort of celebrity.
He may be adored by the crowds, but when he pointed his sword my way, you managed to shield me from his
Ooh, sweet buns.
accusations. Maya clearly isn't a witch, so surely your victory is certain.
Oh, we'll see. That doesn't that tends to not be how any of these little court hearings end up being. A baker of sweet buns.
I have given you leave to come to this trial today. However, that does not mean that the charges against you have been dropped. Rather than worry about others, you should consider your own situation.
Do you need to rub it in? I don't think you do.
Thank you for granting me your permission, Inquisitor.
All right, judge time. Inquisitor Barnum, you may begin your opening statement.
As you wish, my lord. As usual, let us commence this trial by first recounting the events, if it pleases you, Sir Blue Knight. As you wish, Inquisitor.
Still can't get used to this terminology.
Neither can I. The heinous crime occurred in the residence of the late Newton Belduke, the alchemist. Here is the sketched plan of his residence. Where's the music? The music's here, don't worry. This room, of a somewhat questionable nature, is the alchemist's study, in which the incident took place. The only ones present at the moment of the crime were the accused and the victim, no one else. The witnesses who arrived at the scene seconds later have indicated where they found the accused and the victim.
Very well. The sketch is accepted as evidence.
The accused took Sir Layton's life with the most cruel of magic. A living man 1 second, a gold statue the next. Such wickedness. Magic that turns things into gold. Sure, why not? Several townspeople rushed to the room and paid witness to the horror of this magic. The accused has been captured and charged.
Goodness, that is terrifying. Rumors have reached me that the victim was a most scintillating man. I'm not quite certain whether it was prior to or after, but incidentally, was this Sir Layton not the same hat maker who attended our previous trial?
No, he wasn't a hat maker. Bizarre as it is, Sir Layton's profession and origin remain unknown. He was a stranger in this city. That is all we know. You need your Danganronpa music. I've not played Danganronpa, but I have heard that it's got some amazing music. And you, sir, his acquaintance, you are an unusual presence in the city yourself. Suck it up, buddy. A new face. Must shun him.
Today's case certainly is peculiar.
And that is not the last of the peculiarities, my lord. The alchemist's study has been the scene of another strange incident in the past.
Yes, I remember it as if it was yesterday. The mysterious death of Newton Belduke himself.
Indeed, my lord. Regrettably, the only case of witchcraft still to remain unsolved in our fair city. The witch may have escaped her punishment back then. But perhaps today is the day on which both these mysterious crimes shall be solved. What are you implying? Patience. You will know soon enough, Sir Suddenly Pale Blue Knight.
How interesting. It seems that the Inquisition has something up their sleeve. Now, Inquisitor Barnum, you may begin.
Thank you, my lord. The Inquisition summons the witnesses to this malicious crime of witchcraft. If only I've made it to the room sooner. Maybe I could have prevented all this from happening. I won't let Maya take the rap for this. I'll find every single crack in their testimony and prove it wasn't her. And now we have a big old room of people that saw the incident, right?
Welcome to the Witch's Court, honorable witnesses. Now, let us hear your names and occupations. I'm known in far and wide as Emir Punchenbog. I seem to be the new head of Punchenbog's retail organization.
Oh, sure.
Hang on!
Wait a minute, witness!
What's that, boo, Squire?
You're that guy from the previous trial. Just what the heck's happened to you? You look like you've been on one of those ultimate makeover shows. No one's gonna know what the heck you're talking about, Phoenix.
Whatever do you mean? My name is Emir Punchenbog. I seem to be the head of the Punchenbog retail organization.
What is the meaning of this, Inquisitor? I do not care to delve into the witness's personal affairs. Looks like he remembers him all too well.
Witness, Pray continue.
That looks like poison. Oh, dearie, dearie me, it is I who usually asks the questions. I am, you see, but a humble teacher. Call me Miss Brimstone. The children of Labyrinthia Primary School have the privilege of learning the truths about this world from me. So you spout lies. Gotcha. An elementary school teacher, huh? Good to know at least one witness seems sensible. We'll see. I think I'll just use the bard voice for this. The witch carry my song, it's birdie stringing along. Parrot and the bard ensemble, I'm a guard. Burb! My faithful muse here is Cracker, the musical parrot. No one understands music like Cracker, aside from me, naturally. Frickin' parrots. At least it's not another goat.
What a smart bird! He just imitated that teacher perfectly.
Well, shit.
I'm Luke Triton. My occupation is...
The Professor's Apprentice! Luke? Luke, but why? What are you doing there?
I made up my mind. I'm doing this for the Professor. A gentleman has to pursue the truth.
But, Luke, that's where the Inquisition's witnesses stand.
I'll never
forgive that witch! A gentleman shouldn't glare at people as if he wants to hit them in the face. And all of the faces. Luke! Your friend today can be your enemy tomorrow. Such is the hard reality of the battlefield.
Witnesses, we will now hear your testimonies. Tell us all of this wicked incident which you have been unfortunate enough to witness.
At least we can say for sure that one of these witnesses didn't do it.
I heard a scream and an incantation, and then when I entered the room, the victim was already all shiny.
Mayhap something caused discord between erstwhile friends. Mr. Silcat had a knife at the ready in his hand. What? No, he didn't. Victim of magic, sparkly and done for. I hear the staff fall on the floor.
The Professor must have seen through Miss Maya's deception and confronted her right there face to face.
Interesting. Who done the crime of putting the arrow in this man?
I see. Thank you all. However, one part of the testimony was somewhat confusing. You there, the singer?
The singer? Could you possibly mean me, Birdie the Bard, Your Excellent?
Yes, that would be you, singer. The staff that you said song about.
That guy. It is as you suspect, my lord. This very witch's scepter.
Yipe! There are two different magic gems attached, meaning the perpetrator could have used two types of magic.
Yeah, it would seem so. This gem here enables the use of a gold transmutation spell, Goldor.
Goldor. Just the word alone makes the tiny hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Oh, that's all right. That's the dreadful incantation I am here upon.
Shut your face. Your ears are not that great.
Oh, dearie, dearie me, I have seen the scepter, so I have.
Clank tips over the golden man. The scepter falls, not the witch's plan.
Oh, dearie, dearie me! How dare she do that to the Professor?
By the way, the witch's scepter was found on the floor near the victim. If you'll turn your attention to the sketched plans, it was located right here. A scepter dropped by the accused would naturally tumble to exactly that spot.
Objection!
Freaking good for you. Inquisitor Barnum, what you're saying amounts to nothing more than a baseless assumption. You are on edge today, Sir Blue Knight. Is it because your friend is on trial? Perhaps you had better cool yourself down.
Well, anyway, the court accepts the scepter as evidence.
Thank you, my lord. What does the purple do? There's the spell. Inquisitor Barnum, may I ask you something? What is it now, Sir Blue Knight? We know that one of the gems is for the spell Goldor, but what about the other one?
A naive question.
Huh?
Naivete may be no hindrance to a baker who spends most of his time amidst bread, but it can be your undoing here in court. Would a knight put a weapon in his enemy's hand?
He's telling me to do my homework. Shit.
Mr. Wright, I'll look for information about that magic gem in the Grand Grimoire.
At least you have it. Thank you, Espella. That would be great.
Just leave it to me.
She seems very happy to help. Good. I need a peppy sidekick. Otherwise, I'm nowhere.
The defender may interrogate the witnesses.
Alright, let's go. First of all... Here, let me go to the menu and save. This doesn't take too much time. Right. Heard a scream and an incantation, and then when I entered the room, the victim was already all shiny.
Hold it!
And, what is all this about exactly?
What do you mean, Blue Squire?
Your gaudy, colorful outfit. I mean, your attire was different last time. A little more modest.
The Emir you know back then is no more. I am a new man now, reborn into the higher echelons of society.
Still just as sloshed. What's he drinking? There's a skull and crossbones mark on the bottle. Enough idle chit-chat. The witness heard a scream and an incantation. Is that correct?
That's right. It's just like you said earlier, Inquisitor Bottom. It was a spell Goldor, and it was without doubt the voice of the accused said it. However, it's rather peculiar. When I saw the accused and the victim together last time, they seemed to be on friendly terms.
The next witness will dispel your doubts, my lord. Mayhap something caused discord between erstwhile friends. Mr. Silcat had a knife at the ready in his hand. What? When, how, and why? Are you saying you think they quarreled? The other day I saw you all together in this very court, and you were evidently friends. Well, yeah, that's true, but what's that got to do with... Now everyone listen carefully. No chatting in the back row. When I say now, we'll be in the next exam. Miss Primstone's lesson number 5. Friendship leads to nothing but trouble. People would not break up and part their ways in anger if they did not become friends in the first place. Yes, be stoic and alone. That is the lesson for today, sir. The kids in her class must grow up to be model citizens. Or sociopaths. Oh, dearie me. What I saw in the room curdled the blood in my veins. Mr. Silcat was pointing the glittering knife ever so threateningly. The professor threatened Maya with a knife? That sounds hard to believe. Perhaps he discovered that she was a witch, or she tried to attack him first. Miss Primstone's lesson number 7. Secrets lead to nothing but trouble. From the smallest of secrets can sprout the largest of arguments. This one's going to be an exam. Everything's the beginning of trouble to her. Life, it's the beginning of trouble.
Mr. Wright.
What is it?
I think there was some important information in Miss Primstone's testimony.
Really?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not my place to say things like that.
I didn't notice anything. What could that be? What was the spell about to say? No, by all means. What the heck are you talking about? Espella, why don't you just tell us all what you've noticed?
Oh, is that okay? It's just something I'd like to ask Miss Primstone about.
Well, just go ahead and ask her. Breathing. That is the lead to trouble.
Excuse me, Miss Brimstone, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Oh, it's you, Mr. Speller Cantabella.
Miss Brimstone, did you actually see the knife that Mr. Layton was holding?
I did, as a matter of fact, yes. I remember that glittering blade very well. A most frightening sight it was, too.
And you saw that from the door, didn't you? Now, if we look at the sketch. When the incident took place, Mr. Layton must have been facing this way.
That must have been the case, otherwise the witness would not have been able to see it.
Well, that's all I wanted to ask. The more information we have, the better, right?
The direction the professor was facing. That could be important.
This information shall be added to the court record.
Okay. Bathroom break. Sounds good.
I'm sorry I jumped in like that, but I really wanted to help.
And not at all, Isabella. We were able to get some more info, which may just come in handy.
You think so?
You're almost cut out to be a lawyer's assistant.
Now then, the next witness shall continue with the testimony.
Victim of magic, sparkling and done for. I heard the staff fall on the floor.
Hold it!
Oh, did you? Would you mind describing what you saw without singing about it?
No. I'm a bard, sir.
As you wish, my musically impaired friend. Simply put, when I entered the room, the victim was worth his weight in gold for obvious reasons. He tipped over and fell heavily onto the floor. The room became drearily silent. And then I heard that scepter tumbling across the floor. Interesting. Oh, hello, Benji. How's it going? This is your favorite case for reasons. I'll find out later. Okay. Hi. What?
Hang on!
May I ask you something, Miss Brimstone?
It's dearie me! Oh, dearie me!
My dear, do not frighten me so. I feel like a schoolgirl caught napping during class. Miss Brimstone, did you see the witch's scepter at the crime scene?
Well, about that, I must confess, I do not clearly recall.
You don't remember?
When I went into the room, the golden man fell down and made quite the ruckus. That is why I did not notice a scepter being dropped.
So you didn't see it after all?
But I am certain the witch girl had it. She must have been hiding it behind her back.
Objection!
Where exactly? Those robes don't, they're very form-fitting. Please don't assume Maya is a witch just because she's been accused. Miss Brimstone is clearly quick to make assumptions.
I see. Now, we would like to hear the next witness's testimony.
This next witness is a bit problematic.
The professor must have seen through Miss Maya's deception and confronted her right there, face to face.
Hold it!
Luke, open your eyes. Maya isn't a witch.
Ever since we came to this town, lots of unbelievable things have happened. And that's why, from now on, I'll only believe what I see with my own eyes. Luke! When I went into the room, the only people I saw were the professor and Maya. The professor had been turned to gold, and Maya dropped the scepter.
That's not true!
What?
Maya? I didn't have any scepter, and we weren't the only ones in that... Silence! The accused has no right to speak. Be silent or you will face punishment. We can end this trial immediately should you decide to feel talkative again. I'm sorry. Well, Luke, is that really the truth?
Huh?
Did you really see the scepter?
I don't know. When the professor turned to gold and collapsed right in front of me, everything seemed to fade to black.
And then I could have sworn I at least heard Maya drop the scepter. The scepter was found at the scene of the crime. That is the unavoidable truth. Only the accused could have dropped it. This isn't looking good.
I feel so sorry for Luke.
He's so full of anger and despair that he can't think clearly.
He said he can't forgive the witch. I understand how he feels.
Anyway, I need to find a way to calm Luke down first of all. Well, a good way to do that would be to bring back the professor, but... Stop pulling out your sword! Don't kill! So, yeah. You. I need to look at my evidence real quick. Let me take a look at this. Accused, Maya Fey. Charges witchcraft, turning Professor Gold. Okay, behind the painting. Wall behind the painting at the crime scene, been painted green. Something caused discord between, Mr. Silk Hat had a knife at the ready in his hand. Could I possibly convince just by, like, the floor details specifically, saying just like, yeah, he had a knife in his hand. If he had a knife in his hand, why would he be pointing it in the opposite direction, Missy? That would be my first sort of hint as to what's going on here. Real quick, though, I'm going to save just because I have unlocked a few things. And I think I'm going to try that.
Hold it!
Oh, shit. Are you saying they quarreled? Let's see if anything new happens with this. Probably not. Mr. Silkhat was pointing that glittering knife ever so threateningly. Secrets lead nothing but trouble. Okay, whatever. Okay, done messed that one up. Let's try... Alright. Mayhap something caused discord between erstwhile friends. Mr. Silkhat had a knife at the ready in his hand. Professor Layton turned to... Maybe this might have something to do with it, actually. Charges witchcraft, turning Professor Layton into gold. Would that counter that? I feel like, since the floor plans directly changed, I feel like that might have something to do with it. I'm just talking about the angle at which he was facing for the sake of him having a knife would not make any sense. So, let me see.
Objection!
Shit! There's something very strange about that last statement. I think not, Defender. Huh? If anything here is strange, I'd say it was you, Defender. Indeed, my lord. A baker turned defender, clad in such an outlandish outfit, is the very epitome of strange. Epitome. The defense abstains from commenting on the Inquisition's fashion sense, Your Honor. Hello, Vermilion. How's it going? Okay, so it wasn't that.
Hold it!
Ah, God, I pressed that button again. Sorry, why do I keep pressing, like, the press button?
No way!
Eh. Pointing the glittering knife ever so threateningly. Hello, what? Oh! Dearie, dearie me.
Hang on!
Is everything okay, Luke? No, of course it's not okay! The professor was a true gentleman! And no gentleman would go around threatening people with knives! I couldn't agree more. Silly boy, I saw your professor pointing a knife. Are you insinuating that I am a liar, you cheeky little whippersnapper? Don't whip him, please. At least Luke's found someone else to antagonize. That didn't seem to open up anything else. Okay, could it be anything to do with you? The professor must have seen through Miss Maya's deception and confronted her right there, face to face. Okay, I think this actually might be it. Considering face to face. They couldn't have. The floor plans would dictate that the knife would be pointing in a completely separate direction.
Objection!
There we go. Luke, you said that you will only believe what you see with your own eyes. But what you think you saw may not be the whole truth. Birdley is kind of funny. Oh, I will see.
What do you mean?
Take a close look at the sketch of the crime scene. At the time of the incident, Professor Layton and Maya were standing here. Now, we have learned from Miss Primstone's testimony which way the professor was facing. He was facing this way.
Oh!
You have testified that the professor confronted Maya face to face. But looking at the sketch of where they were standing, one thing is clear. There is a contradiction in your testimony.
What?
Yeah, how's it feel?
Objection!
That is what I am truly capable of. Taking down a 9-year-old boy. Whether they were facing each other or not is of no relevance whatsoever. They were the only ones in that room. One was a victim, thus the other must be the witch.
Objection!
I will ask you to wait before jumping to conclusions, Inquisitor. Think back to Miss Primstone's testimony. She told us that the professor was pointing a knife at someone threateningly. However, you can see in the sketch that he wasn't threatening Maya. So then, who was he pointing the knife at?
Hold it!
Luke, what is it?
The professor would never point a knife at anyone! I was the one who opened the door to that room, so I was the first to witness, and I saw no knife. Miss Primstone's testimony is not reliable. Oh, dearie me, will you look at this child spouting nonsense and talking badly of his elders?
Stop bickering, you bastards! No, Inquisitor Barnum. Yes, my lord. It should pose no difficulty to verify whether or not the victim had a knife. After all, that's not a knife, that's just a knife. That sparkling golden body of his had been found at the scene of the crime, has it not?
Indeed it has, my lord. Court attendants, you heard the judge. Bring the victim into the courtroom. I thought this was gonna happen. Seems like they're gonna bring the golden statue.
Gulp. Professor.
This isn't gonna be easy. Shellacked. Did someone at least fix the... Nope. No one fixed the arm.
Look at that.
Did it get damaged in transit?
Professor!
Professor!
So this is the power of the gold transmutation spell. Most spectacular. It looks like work of the finest artisans.
Nope, it's a person, Your Honor. I assure you it's the work of no artisans, my lord. By the way, the missing arm has not yet been found. What the fuck?
I can't believe this, Professor!
I suppose we should add the victim to, the evidence.
The poor professor who, while searching for evidence, became evidence. That sucks. So where the hell's the arm? Did somebody, like, take... Oh, my God. I just had an idea. What if, Mr. Amir here pawned it somehow?
This is unfortunate. I thought the evidence would be as good as gold. But although it technically is, we are still no closer to discerning whether or not the victim was holding a knife.
Hold it!
Let me speak, please! Maya, the professor didn't have a knife. And also, there was another person in that room. The real witch was there too. Please believe me. Accused, do I really need to warn you again? Inside the cage, you are to behave like a bird that has forgotten its song. Speak again and you shall be punished. It's not her strong suit. Or are you in a particular hurry to taste the flames of justice, little bird? God! No.
Objection!
But it's true that someone else could have been at the crime scene. Look at the sketch. The victim was facing towards someone, and that person wasn't Maya. Sir Blue Knight, your ignorance is no longer even a surprise. Huh? You do not know what transpired at the crime scene. You think this man was pointing at another person, you say. Let me tell you this. Nearly everyone in this court, other than you, knows what Sir Hat was pointing at. What? Well, honorable witness, is that not so?
I am mere Punch and Bog. I love me some gossip and stories of the occult.
Elusive like mist, the magical beast, its chilling breath brings about death.
Oh, dearie, dearie me, you could use some education, Blue Knight. I can offer you private tuition, but it will not come cheap.
If the professor wasn't confronting Maya...
Witnesses, you will now testify. Tell us all about this other presence at the crime scene.
Well, no one else saw it. That's not gonna help me. Again, you drunken bastard.
We all know what happened to that alchemist, so this case is no mystery.
Same place, same magic trick. This time, her luck ran out and she dropped the magic scepter. The truth obscured by a twisted ruse. The witch couldn't vanish, but did confuse.
It happened because the professor unraveled the mystery behind all these witches.
The same magic trick was used. They are referring to an incident from 3 months ago. Much like this incident, a man lost his life to witchcraft in that very room. How did he die too?
It was the master of the residence, Sir Newton Belduke, the alchemist. He suffered death by strangulation. Finger marks were left on his neck. He had locked himself in his study, and the key was still in his pocket. In other words, no one could have entered that room.
The perpetrator disappeared from a locked room, just like in this case. A large amount of powdered medicine was spilt all over the floor. Powdered medicine?
Sir Belduke was an alchemist. He possessed various medicinal concoctions. Very medicinal. Excuse me. He was my dealer.
Due to the presence of that powder, had anyone entered that room, clear footprints would have remained, yet there were none.
That's the kind of mystery that the professor would have loved to solve.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Thus, there were two unnatural circumstances to Sir Belduke's death. The culprit's disappearance from a locked room, and the fact that they appeared not to have walked on the floor. It's almost as if they flew away.
In other words, it couldn't have been the Demir magic that was used in my case the other day.
Seems like the killer levitated above the floor, strangled Belduke, and vanished into thin air. But what does that have to do with this trial? It has been 3 months since the murder. Despite that, we still haven't been able to find the witch responsible. But now, having eluded us for so long, that witch has finally been brought before this court. We will have justice. What? No way. Now he thinks Maya killed the alchemist too? I saw that one coming. We weren't even here back then, but it's not like I could explain that to him. Well then, why don't you interrogate the witnesses? Now that you are aware of the connection between the two murders.
Objection!
You can't be serious. 3 months ago, we weren't even... Nope, can't excuse that.
Defender, you may interrogate the witnesses. May their testimonies lead us to the truth.
Which is funny because truth was not one of those things that we really talk about in this court. It's more like, nope, burn people. Alright. Another save round. No, again, I'm putting all my chips down right now. I am absolutely 100% certain that this shitheel sold the arm.
Hold it!
You're talking about Mr. Belduke's murder, which took place in a locked room.
Yeah, real shock, alright. Everyone was talking about it. people don't say this out loud, but you know, you're thinking it too, eh?
I don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Made it clear as day, he was an alchemist! An alchemist! Alchemist just like magic, ain't it?
Did I hear anybody start, like, raise their eyebrows? Nope, apparently not.
Sir Belduke was a man, only a woman. Bull, horse. What's more, witchcraft has nothing to do with alchemy. They're different somehow.
Alchemy is the mysterious art of manipulating the forces of nature.
Oh, so it is said. Well, that sounds a lot like magic to me. Alchemy's incomprehensible to regular people. It's all magic, really.
You're the kind of person that would say, like,
all computers are magic, technology. And you know, a couple of days before the witch got him, there was that lightning that struck.
Lightning?
Glad you're asking, because I'll tell you that one.
Right, we can shed some light on this lightning.
All of a sudden, like a bolt from the blue sky. There was this bolt from the sky, only it wasn't blue. Sky lit up and turned blood red, and then out of nowhere, an old-looking bell tower appeared in a burst of flames. Makes you realize Mother Nature's pretty powerful stuff, eh? Gulp, gulp.
You have strayed off the topic at hand, witness. This is a courthouse, not an inn. Save your thrilling stories for later. I don't know, these thrilling stories are giving me some insight into this town, so I don't care. Same place, same magic trick. This time her luck ran out and she dropped the magic scepter.
Hold it!
Would you care to elaborate on that, Miss Primstone? You could say I am a scholar and my knowledge is vast and diverse. I know a thing or two about witchcraft. Therefore, I have a very good idea of the type of magic that must have been used this time. The magic behind this mysterious figure that appeared out of nowhere, glided through the air, and vanished after making the kill? Indeed, yes, and the witch's scepter confirmed my theory. A brilliant deduction. I am honored to have studied under an excellent teacher such as yourself. Jesus. Well, that explains how you have absolutely no humor. She was his teacher? Actually, I guess that kind of explains a lot. Our occult crime analysts have arrived at the same conclusion. Mr. Wright! I found it! The page about the purple magic gem. The spell's called Familia. Familia? What does it do? The spell Familia, bound within this purple gem, is used to summon a familiar.
Familiars appear out of nowhere, glide through the air, and vanish when their task is accomplished.
Ooh, cool. So it's like summoning a ghost.
They are evil, bloodthirsty spirits used by witches to perform outrageous crimes.
Evil spirits? Are you saying that the witch used a familiar to... It was a familiar that took Sir Belduke's life, and now it has appeared again. Sir Silcat was probably trying to ward off the evil spirits with his knife. But what good is a knife against an occult creature? It completed its task given to it by the witch and promptly vanished. Thus bringing us to the conclusion that Sir Belduke and Sir Hat were both killed by the same witch. What?
What an unexpected turn of events! The two incidents have been shown to be connected, due to the same witch scepter having been used in both cases.
I get a strange suspicion that one of these gems wasn't used in this case. Oh, this is terrible! Now Maya's accused of 2 murders! Insta-death! Just drop her in. Oh, dearie, dearie me, I was right as always. This gruesome murder will be in the next exam. Make sure to take notes. Now I shall divulge what really happened. We are all ears, Miss Primstone. That hackmaker was pointing the knife at the witch's familiar.
Hold it!
Did you actually see the familiar? Oh, dearie, dearie me, no, I did not. When that boy opened the door, the familiar had just disappeared. Had the body opened the door sooner, no doubt we all would have seen it. If he were my student, I would have made sure to teach him not to dilly-dally. What's that, sir? Here, you're the only one that's asking questions.
Hang on!
Is everything all right, Luke? You seem to be in deep thought about something. No, it's not right at all. Is there something in Miss Primstone's testimony that you'd like to comment on? That's what I keep telling you. The professor wouldn't point a knife at it. God damn it. Dearie, dearie me, what an impertinent child, I tell you. I saw a knife. I distinctly saw a glint of a sharp blade.
Objection!
At any rate, as we can see now, the victim's arm is missing. As such, there's no proof that he had a knife.
Objection!
That is but a mere detail. It matters not. A mere detail matters not? Oh my. Anyhow, I wonder, where could that missing arm be? Yeah, that ought to be looked into. That's right. That arm. Wasn't it found at the crime scene? I swear I never saw it there. Oh, golden arm, where can you be? Reveal yourself. Listen to my plea. Oh, dearie, dearie me, I'm afraid even I did not notice it. It is indeed astonishing that the arm could have disappeared from the crime scene. The professor will need his arm when he returns to normal. Is it all out robbery? Go and investigate it. The boy's request is not unreasonable. I will order an occult crime analyst to search for it now. How could the arm just up and vanish from the crime scene? That just might be a clue. I need to give the upper hand to Barbara. Barbara to Barb.
The court considers the whereabouts of the arm irrelevant to this trial. Mr. Wright, make sure that you limit your interrogation to relevant matters.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, continue with the interrogation.
I think it's plenty relevant, but whatever. Truth obscured by twisted ruse. The witch couldn't vanish, but did confuse.
Hold it!
Huh? Well, I'm certainly confused. It's a beautiful song, sure, but would you mind testifying in a bit more of a comprehensible way? As you wish, sure, musically impaired defender. A certain man was killed some 3 months ago. You mean Sir Newton Belduke, the alchemist, right? It was a locked room murder accomplished through the use of certain mysterious spell. And that same magic has been used in this case too. The witch that committed the crime disappeared without a trace. She hasn't been found to this day, huh? Just freaking face. That's pretty much what I expressed in my song. I knew all that already. Even a peerless bard to myself may not always be completely up to date with all the latest information. Isn't that so, Cracker? You understand, don't you, my peerless feathery partner? Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Fuck. What in the door of a bird? He's imitating you this time, Mr. Wright. I'm being parroted by a parrot. How many parrots are going to be making fun of me in this court? We capture all witches without exception. This one may have been a large longer than others, but she will not escape us.
Next witness, continue testifying.
It happened because the professor unraveled the mystery behind all these witches.
Hold it!
And that mystery is...
the witch's identity, of course.
Can't believe I'm getting stared down by a little kid. I mean, that's happened before. You have done that in plenty of different courtrooms.
Don't get me wrong. I want to believe you in Maya. But I saw the witch's scepter on the floor. No one else could have dropped it. When I saw the professor, everything went black in front of my eyes. But I did hear the scepter fall to the floor. That was a witch in the room, and it had to be Maya. Luke, if only the professor were here to tell me what to believe in.
You need to be your own man. Come on. He's been teaching you to be a fine gentleman. Well, be a fine gentleman.
What do you think, Mr. Wright?
We need to dig down to the truth as soon as possible. For Maya, and for Luke's too.
I hope we can do it.
It'd be easier if there were some clear contradictions in their testimonies. But I haven't noticed anything.
Perhaps this time, we should take a step back and observe each witness while they're not the only one speaking.
The four of them are listening to each other's testimonies. That may give me an opportunity to question them on one another's testimonies and find gaps in their stories. You're full of good ideas, Espella. How about we give that a shot?
Sure.
Perfectly fine, but let me go ahead and save. I feel like it's going to require me to, push everybody's testimonies one more time. Whoa! Hint coins 102 out of 120. Wow. Okay, I've practically collected basically all of them in the game, haven't I? Unless that's just the cap of how many I can carry at once, which that makes no freaking sense.
Hold it!
Anyways, let's see what happens when I do this. Okay, so nothing with that one. Or at least not yet. Gulpity gulp. Okay, nothing funny about that one. Hat maker. Did you actually see the thing happen? If he were my student, I would have made sure to teach him not to dilly-dally. And then I believe I've already done this before, but I guess I'll do it again.
Hang on!
Is everything alright, Luke? No, it's not alright. Professor would not carry a knife. Arm is missing. We've already kind of talked about the fact that, yeah, the arm missing, we kind of need to make sure that that has been put into. Oh! That ought to be looked into, and somebody... Oh, you fucking asshole.
Hang on!
Mister, do you have something you'd like to share with us?
No.
Mr. Amir!
It's Mr. Amir Punchenbog, I told you, boy. The likes of you ought to show some respect for a future man of wealth such as me.
You seem to be looking ahead to a future full of newly gained riches.
I can look wherever I'm blood place. Anyway, why are you looking at me like that? I don't know about that golden bloke's right arm.
Excuse me, Mr. Wright.
What is this, Bella?
I may be wrong, but there's something about that man. Wouldn't you say he looks, suspicious?
He looks suspicious the whole damn time, miss. It's not just you. Everything about him is so shady, it makes me want to double-check my pockets. Mr. Amir, stop pretending you don't know anything about the victim's missing arm.
Pretending? I told you, I don't know nothing. Not a zero near. I'd seen it, or heard about it, or put it in my pocket.
Put it in your pocket?
It wasn't me! Honest, seriously, I got nothing to do with it.
Objection!
Objection?
You
Oh dear.
good for nothing. You tried to deceive me.
Oh shit. Oh man, he tried to pawn it off. Shit.
Order? Order? Who is that person?
Nope, he's coming down.
You want to know who I am? I'm Pross the pawnbroker. And this man is a shameless, cheating bum. He had the nerve to lie to me.
What did he lie to you about?
I'll tell you. On the day of the crime, Amir came to my shop. He waltzed up to me saying he'd got his hands on a superb work of art, rare as gold dust.
I think I know where this is going. I've known where this has been going for a while.
That work of art, could it be?
I've got it right here.
Where the heck did the stand come from? Just like I thought.
That's...
Oh my.
Professor! It's the professor's arm!
That's probably traumatizing.
It's pure gold, exquisitely crafted. It was entitled, Towards Tomorrow, or something like that. I'd never seen a piece of gold so fine before. And so, suspecting nothing, I paid that rascal a rather handsome sum.
Who would have thought?
And what am I hearing now? That it was a human arm, no less? You, sir, are a monster. You're as bad as a witch's familiar yourself.
I didn't know it was his arm, I swear. When I saw it, it was already like that.
What do you mean?
I was the last of the scene, and it caught me island right away, and that gold arm pointing up at the ceiling with such optimism, and I thought,
did you not put two and two together when you saw a gold statue of a person on the floor with an arm broken and another arm that's just sitting there? No. I refuse to believe that.
I thought it looked like it showing me the way to a better, brighter, richer tomorrow. To me, it was a work of art, a precious one at that. And then it found its way into your pocket and you pulled it. You mounted it on a crude stand, gave it to a tawdry title, and passed it off as some kind of sculpture? Yeah.
Don't try and look away from the truth now.
Darn it, I could look wherever I dawn, please. I'll look away from the facts and forward to the future. Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the... That's Emir's motto.
Cool. It's good thing we happen to have some wood glue or some shit to just splat it together.
What we are... Okay, where were we now? Yes, the victim's arm has now been successfully reattached by one of our masterful craftsmen. Knights of the court, you may resume the Inquisition.
Dude, I can't even imagine what, oh god, if he did... I know this is magic and mysticism and all that, but the first thing that I immediately think is that when he gets back to normal, everything that is holding that arm together, unless they used molten gold or something, and even if they did use molten gold, that thing is going to reforge in some horrifying way. Like, arteries are going to be cut, blood is going to be spilling all over, like, the internals. Oh, hey, Tip, that is a lovely thing to... Yeah, sorry. It's going great. Layton is doing kind of bad right about now. At least one thing's clear now. As everyone can see, the victim definitely wasn't holding a knife.
Oh, dearie, dearie me, it seems I may have been mistaken after all.
You think? I gotta go, Vermilion. Hey, thanks for popping into the Twitch stream. Hey, we got 2 het kids in the chat. Yes. Quite a few smug faces.
When you think about it, the victim had already been turned to gold when we entered the room.
According to the witnesses' testimonies, that was the case, yes.
Well then, I'm sure you conceded that it was easy to mistake that glittering pointed finger for a knife. Indeed, the victim's finger had as a glint to it, resembling that of a sword's edge. Such a sense of power and intensity. It's enough to send a shiver down the spine of anyone being pointed at.
No puzzle is a match for the power of the professor's pointing finger.
I guess no one remembers I'm known for pointing like that too. Give me some comeuppance.
I think your pointing finger makes quite an impression too, Mr. Wright.
She's just taking pity on me.
Is that all you had to say, Sir Blue Knight?
Huh?
As I said before, whether the victim had a knife or not is completely irrelevant. Yeah, what he said. You better apologize to me now. Batter me for no reason like that.
Is that all there is to it? Or could that arm hold some other clues?
We've come this far. Maybe there's something else you could ask about.
She's right. I need to ask some more questions. Well then, Mr. Amir. Perhaps you could tell me one more thing about that arm. Where did you find it? How much did you have? Oh, shit. I wish I could save here. Damn it. Unless I can... Nope, nope. When did you find it? How much did you pawn it? That's not gonna help. When did you find it? He said that already. I guess I would have to know, like, where exactly was it lying? You found the arm on the floor, pointing upwards, you said.
Yeah, I did. Find his keepers, I say. It was pointing straight up at the ceiling.
That arm somehow happened to fall down in such a way that it landed upright? What are the odds of that? Actually, that reminds me of a puzzle. Now, if you could just show us on this floor plan here. I'd like to know the exact spot where you found the victim's arm.
Sure, I remember that well. It was right there. Yes. That's where you would expect it to have fallen.
Think about it for a second, buddy. Now, if that's where it was, then something's definitely not right. If you keep looking at that sketch so intensely, you shall burn a hole in it. Or perhaps you're going to claim there's a contradiction in it somewhere? This arm is the final clue left by the professor. Even after turning to gold, he was pointing out something important. Namely, the key to solving this case. And again, safety!
Well, Defender, do you see any problem in the location as marked on the sketch?
Yes. Sure. Of course there's a problem.
And where would that be, precisely?
The professor's arm has armed me with some vital evidence, Waka Waka. Its location leads to a huge contradiction.
In that case, why don't you enlighten us and show us this so-called contradiction? What contradiction does the victim's arm create?
That's a good question. Now, I guess I feel like the contradiction would have something to do with the staff in question. Maybe. Well, directions-wise, why would it have... I mean, I'm very curious as to why exactly it fell in the direction that it did. Because if you thought about it, the statue, if it fell forward, and if it broke that way, especially, I mean, I'm thinking about the cutscene here, but if it broke that way, wouldn't the arm be on the opposite side of the room? That was my first thought. So the contradiction in the location of the arm. Either that, or it might have something to do with the staff. One of the two. I'm gonna gun for this one. The contradiction is right here.
What say you, Inquisitor Bottom?
I believe that was a definitive proof that there is a contradiction here, not in the sketch, but rather in this court. That contradiction is you, Sir Blue Knight. Perhaps you'd better go back to your bakery. I think what Inquisitor Bottom means to say is that your objection was a little off the mark. I could be wrong, of course. Yeah, I got that, Espella. I'm not that clueless. I've got to get it right next time. I don't want to make a fool of myself again. You appear to be looking away from the facts, rather like a certain witness. I won't look away from my mistakes, but I will keep looking on the bright side. And on the bright side, that's one possibility eliminated. All the more chances of getting it right.
In that case, why don't you enlighten us? Show us the contradiction.
Okay. How many more chances do I have? I think I have about, like, 3 left. Let's try this again.
Got it.
The contradiction is right here.
And this is the witch's scepter.
Let's go over the order of events, as per the witness's testimony. First, the witch cast a spell on the professor, turning him into gold. When all of you rushed to the crime scene, that golden statue fell down, making a loud noise. Next, the witch dropped the scepter. What are you getting at, Sir Blue Knight? All witnesses agreed to this order of events. That's right. They all agreed that's how it happened. But then there's the arm. Well, what about it? Spit it out. Let's assume that Maya was the witch. Now, look at the sketch again. The witch dropped the scepter after having turned the professor into gold. The scepter tumbled along the floor and was found here, as asserted by the prosecution. However, that would be impossible. There's no way it could have been there.
Oh, I see it now.
The arm, it was... This is so flaky, but alright, I'll gun for it. I'm glad you seem to have noticed. The victim's arm was on the floor right here, standing on its end. Therefore, the scepter couldn't possibly have fallen that way. Ergo, it couldn't have been the defendant who dropped the scepter. In other words, Maya is not a witch! They'll find a way out of it.
Order, order, order! How can this be? The Inquisition's reasoning has been proven invalid through just one single piece of unusual evidence.
Call it Layton's magical touch. The Midas touch. The professor sacrificed his arm to leave us just the evidence needed to turn this thing around. That was amazing, Mr. Wright. Professor.
Objection!
Nope. An admirable deduction, Sir Blue Knight. That I cannot deny. Even if we are to assume your reasoning correct, and that girl in the cage is not a witch. Even if, in the many trials I have attended, I have become well versed in certain aspects of magic. I am all too well of its potential to confuse people, befuddle their minds, and make their memories hazy. No one can resist such a maddening influence. What are you trying to say, Inquisitor? The scepter could not have tumbled across the floor if the arm were in its way. However, can we be sure that it is where the arm was? Are all the witnesses able to confirm its location at the time?
Objection!
We've heard what they had to say several times now. They agreed that the scepter fell after the victim fell over.
Objection!
And yet, no one actually saw the scepter being dropped. Witnesses, think back to that incident once more. Did the golden statue fall over first, or did the staff fall before it? Think carefully about what you have seen and heard. Everything hinges on your testimonies. May your words guide us to the truth and decide the fate of this caged witch. Damn it! Shite! Bastards! Are you guys out of order? Wait.
I was about to get ready to leave, but it seems there's no further... Wait, there's a need for further questioning.
I would say he needs to get back to his soaps, but what would that even be in this time period?
Testify once more, witnesses. Tell us of the golden statue and the Thalia Magica.
Okay. I was only focusing on the professor, so I don't remember much else.
I don't know, I got there last, saw that thing was glitting and glittering away, so I couldn't see much else.
Bewitched by love, or beloved by a witch? The poor cove knows not which is which. Dearie me, I remember. How obvious it seems now. The staff was dropped before the statue fell over. So we've got 3 I don't fucking knows and 1... Actually, wait, was the... I don't even know what the singing was about. Fuck it. Whoa, wait a minute. What you all just said just now is totally different from your previous testimonies. So, Blue Knight, you are starting to notice it now, aren't you? That is the way of magic. Such is the effect this black art tends to have upon those who witnesses. The witnesses are not lying, but simply having trouble remembering the truth. What a convenient excuse. Confronted with magic, their brains turn to mush.
Ever since our ancestors drank from the fountains of wisdom and obtained the capacity for reason, witchcraft has been the one thing to remain incomprehensible, even to the most intelligent of us. Baboons us all.
Nevertheless, the onus is on us to stand up against magic and pass judgment on these witches. And so here we are, doing battle with the weapons of the wise, words. With words, we shall pass judgment upon this supposed witch.
Defender, you may begin your interrogation and help us arrive at the truth.
Okay. I only have 3 shields left. Not doing great. But at least it's better than what it was before, where I was down to 1. Okay. Only focusing on the professor so you don't remember much else, eh? Luke, you said before that you heard the scepter fall to the floor. And that was after the professor fell over.
I thought so. I mean, I thought I saw before, but now... The more I think about it, the less certain I am that I actually heard it. How could I have been paying attention to anything else when the professor was... My memories of everything else are too fuzzy.
I guess Luke was too shocked to take in his surroundings and notice anything else. I doubt I'll get any more information out of him for now. I'm sorry, Luke. I understand how hard this is for you. Let's move on to the next witness.
I don't know, I got there last sight, the thing was glittering away, so I couldn't see much else.
And that thing would be...
the arm of the shining gent next to you, buddy. Bluey,
poor Professor Layton. More valued now than ever before. And you didn't notice the scepter on the floor?
You know, I wasn't even looking at the floor. My eyes were kind of glued to my new source of income. If anything, I might have looked up at the ceiling, since that's where it was pointing. Find escapers, eh? Into my pocket it went.
Gulp, gulp, company ever. Drunky to the end. Someone arrest this guy, please. Bewitched by love, or beloved by a witch, the poor cove knows not which is which.
Hold it!
Would you mind translating your song into plain speech?
I shall simplify it once more, just for you, esteemed knight of the court. First of all, let's talk about love. It's a pretty neat slant rhyme for cove. A cove is slang for a chap, you see. Then we have the word witch, and it's homophone, witch.
Right.
Next, we have the delightful consonants of beloved and bewitched. It is ultimately a song about confusion.
I'm confused. You have succeeded.
To be honest, there's nothing more to it. It is merely an artistic expression of my feelings.
So it's got nothing to do with this case, does it?
I am a well of melodious words and poetic music. This is my only claim.
Oh, dearie me!
Oh, what can my peerless partner Cracker be thinking about now? I wonder. Perhaps I should sing a song about it.
No, please, that's fine.
Shit.
I don't believe another song will be necessary. Let us move on.
Dearie me, I remember how obvious it seems now. The staff was dropped before the statue fell over.
Hold it!
You seem to be the only one that's certain of that. But you haven't said anything about that until now.
Well, that couldn't have been helped.
How so?
Now, everyone, listen well. Pencils in hand, be sure to take notes. Miss Primstone's lesson number 4. Memories are not always pretty, eh? Some things are better forgotten. Trying to remember them only leads to trouble. This will be in the exam.
You are saying the victim fell over and his arm broke off after the scepter was dropped. Are you not? Correct. Well done. And so, the contradiction is no more.
Objection!
But that's inconsistent with all the previous testimonies.
Objection!
We have one that says yes, therefore that's the correct one. You're quick to forget what I have told you, Sir Blue Knight. The witnesses are not lying, they are merely having trouble remembering the truth. We must do our utmost to find the truth within what they say.
There's no use. These guys aren't making any sense.
What Inquisitor Bottom said must be true. They've been confused by magic.
Yes, Bella?
We always try to make sense of what we see. So, when what we see makes no sense, we lose track of what's real.
I guess that makes sense. Cross-examination a little... I guess that makes cross-examination a little pointless. At least when everyone here believes it's so easy to get confused by magic. Well, we need to do something or else Maya will be done for. I'll listen to the witnesses again and try to find something we can use.
Good luck.
Great. Maybe now that we've had a talk about stuff. But I will save, since, yeah, I've been through everybody's conversations. Let me just scrub through this. Alright.
Hold it!
Let's see if anybody's ears perk up. Memory's a bit fuzzy, eh? Okay. Nothing coming from Luke.
Hold it!
Anything about you? What do you have to say? That thing? The arm. Okay, eyes were fixated on the prize. Finders keepers, in the pocket it went. Someone please arrest this guy, I agree. You have anything new to say?
Hold it!
Let's talk about love. It's a pretty neat slant rhyme for cove. A cove is slang for chap. Oh, what? Why the heck?
Hang on!
Mr. Amir, you seem to be pondering something very deeply.
You caught me unawares there, Baloo.
Did something in Miss Birdley's statement catch your attention just now?
Nah, nothing in particular. I was just thinking. That bard song really got to me. Really got a feeling in my heart.
I appreciate your appreciation of my art.
You know, I meant to ask you something. Why don't you become my private bard? You could sing all about the heroic life of Mimir Punchenbach.
Dude, I could gladly sing of your adventures if it pleases you, kind sir. With what gold? He's gonna be arrested after this.
That's exactly what I want. Show me what you got.
Very well, as per your request.
Oh, Grandemir, Punchenbog the first, with new fortune quench your thirst. Having bravely flinched the golden arm, now you've duped the pawn shop man. I hope my song was your liking, sir.
Yeah, very poetic.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. Nothing. Crap. Your drinking manner is quite inspiring, but whatever is that skull bottle hiding? It's a good question. Again, we don't really know. Is he poisoned himself? So we've learned nothing useful at all. Just that Amir has questionable taste in music. Sometimes it is best not to probe too deeply, Sir Blue Knight.
Well then, let us just pretend we heard none of that and proceed with the interrogation.
Sorry. Well, let me try that again, except maybe on a different piece of the, Here. Maybe on another part of the testimony, something else will perk up. Right. You're freaking out, but nobody else is. Let's skip that. Witch. Next we have Beloved. What the heck? Cracker is saying some weird stuff.
Ah, oh dearie me!
Hang on!
Luke, what the heck are you thinking about? Luke, would you like to say something?
Oh, sorry. I guess I spaced out a bit. What was it, Mr. Wright?
You seem to be thinking pretty hard about something during Mr. Birdley's song, testimony just now. Is there something you would like to share with us?
Well, I've been thinking about what Mr. Barnum said a while ago.
What was that exactly?
That humans who witness magic become confused and lose sight of what's real. And they end up not knowing what actually happened. Well, I was thinking Mr. Barnum might be right. And then it occurred to me that there might be a way. I mean, we do have with us a witness who isn't human.
Ah! Oh dearie me!
Shit. The situation seems oddly familiar.
Don't forget DL6, Squawk!
I asked him earlier if he remembers the events clearly or not. He said he has a memory better than any elephant and remembers everything perfectly well.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Luke can talk to animals.
Mr. Wright, I know it sounds crazy, but please, let me try. Let me ask Cracker to testify.
Oh dearie me!
Should I? Yes, you should. I'm stuck now anyway, and the witnesses' testimonies are all over the place. A new testimony would be a wild card, but it might just be the thing to turn this trial on its head. The court's not gonna take a bird's testimony. I don't know, maybe. But it's a crazy idea, alright. If I make a mistake now, it'll put me in a tight spot. Just in case I, out Luke as being like a warlock or some shit. Hidden Witch!
Defender, are you still with us? This is not the time nor place for daydreaming. What do you intend to do?
It looks as though you're exhausted. You've exhausted all means for counterattack, Sir Knight in Blue. It is not time... Is it not time you drop your sword?
If you have no further questions for the witnesses, Defender, I will consider your interrogation finished. What will it be then? Are we finished here?
I've got zero time to think it over. Better make a choice now. Should I summon the parrot as a witness? Oh, hell yes. Your Honor, the defense would like to summon a new witness.
A new
witness, you say?
Who do you have in mind?
It's a witness you all know by the name of Mr. Cracker.
Mr. Cracker?
I know of no man by the name of that.
Mr. Cracker! Quack!
The defense summons its new witness, Mr. Cracker the Parrot.
A parrot as a witness?
Objection!
This is the witch's court. Joking around will be considered contempt of court.
Objection!
Mr. Cracker witnessed the crime. He saw it happen, and he heard it too. He's as valid a witness as the others.
Objection!
No. That bird is nothing but a pet animal. Referring to it as Mr. will not change that.
Objection!
Humans are confused by magic to the extent that they lose sight of what's real. That's what you yourself said, Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum.
Objection!
Being played by a freaking blue suit. Calling me by my full name does not help justify such brash foolishness. The Inquisition is against interrogating a parrot. By the way, kind sirs, what... I suppose you should know that my dear companion never forgets a sound he hears. He remembers everything he hears, huh?
It's definitely worth asking Cracker to testify.
The court sees the situation as follows. The witnesses' testimonies do not hold together. In fact, they are as erratic as the bard's song. I cannot see this trial getting any more confusing. Very well. the defense may summon the avian's witness. This avian witness, rather.
Can you believe it? What's up with Mr. Blue Shirt suit? Summoning a parrot as a witness?
Summoning? Does he mean like how the familiar was summoned?
By hook or by crook, I'll do whatever I can to save Maya. Be it summoning a parrot or a familiar. Whatever it takes, within the boundaries of the law, of course. Common decency be damned. Alright. Witness, state your name and Shit. Not so fast. I hardly even know where to begin, but... First of all, what's the matter with that boy? Looking so pleased with himself. He looks like a cat that got the cream.
That'd be me, wouldn't it? Don't mind me. Just think of me as a perch for Cracker, that's all.
Just what is the purpose of questioning a bird? A parrot may be able to repeat what others say, but it cannot talk on its own.
It's precisely because Cracker doesn't talk in his own words that he's certain to tell us the truth.
What?
Cracker remembers every sound he hears, even just the once, with absolute perfection. So let's have him testify exactly what he heard.
And if Cracker can repeat every sound, I'd say this should be a valuable testimony. I cannot believe this is happening.
Neither can I, but let's just go with it. A witness that cannot talk will not lie either. This idea is much to my liking. Well then, may our new witness Cracker testify to the court. We wish to know exactly what you heard from the beginning of the incident.
I imagine it's just going to be sputtery noises.
Objection!
What's this now?
Why, those are the sounds of the incident. Exactly as Cracker heard them.
Ludicrous! Evidently, this is nothing but a farce after all. What do you mean, Inquisitor Barnum? I must admit, I found the parrot's testimony quite impressive.
Even if that bird can accurately recall the sounds, it is clearly useless when it comes to the order of events.
You mean there's a problem with the order?
First, the witch used magic to turn the victim into gold. Then the witnesses arrived. It is reasonable to assume they cried out in terror when they did so. And yet, this testimony does not accurately convey such an order of events. It starts with a sudden scream, followed by the door abruptly opening, and then a witness crying out. Next, we hear the victim having turned to gold, falling down. So far, so reasonable. But the real issue is as follows. The parrot seems to think the witch cast her spell after the witnesses entered. Such a suggestion is inconceivable. The reason is simple. At that time, the victim had already been turned into gold.
Indeed, it is as you say, Inquisitor Barnum.
The parrot's capacity for imitation is excellent. I will concede that its testimony does have some entertainment value. I had fun. However, this animal's testimony cannot be allowed to stand as proof of this honorable court of law. But what if we can prove that the goldening happened afterwards? Don't write Cracker off just like that. Do you now see how foolish you were to summon this parrot as a witness? Not good, Phoenix. Not good at all. Should I really go through with this cross-examination when it feels like everyone in the court is against me? Yep. The defense wishes to cross-examine the witness. What? Are you serious? Did you not hear what I said?
Are you choosing to ignore my words?
A witness that cannot talk cannot lie. Either this parrot's testimony is... it cannot lie either. This parrot's testimony is the naked truth. He's simply repeating the sounds as he heard them. It's humans who make assumptions about the meaning of those sounds and arbitrarily decide whether the testimony's good or not. But as Knights of the Court, shouldn't we be striving to uncover the truth of which to which the parrot holds the key?
The truth, you say?
Very well.
Show us the truth that this bird purportedly knows. Or interrogate that parrot. Meanwhile, I shall enjoy the show.
Will you do it, Mr. Wright? You seem very worried.
Do you think it's hopeless?
Yes.
Defender, you may interrogate the witness.
I don't even know what the heck I'm even supposed to be doing at this stage. Right. God, I don't know. I guess we'll see what this leads out to. I guess that's Maya screaming. Oh yeah, I may have let out a teeny scream. I was so horrified when the professor suddenly turned into gold like that right before my eyes. So that's when... The accused seems to yearn for the flames so much that she cannot wait to receive her punishment. If she wishes to live any longer, she would be wise to remain silent. I'm really sorry. I won't talk again, promise. Unfortunately for you, Sir Blue Knight, there is no way you can prove that it was the voice of the accused.
Objection!
You're wrong, Inquisitor. All we need to do is have her voice print analyzed and we'll know... Oh, wait. Analyze what? A voice print? It's nothing. Just forget what I said. Oh boy, this world's driving me crazy.
Well then, you may carry on with the interrogation.
Salam. I love how the parrot has like a British twang to it too. Was that the sound of a door being opened? What?
Hang on!
Excuse me, Mr. Birdley?
How may I help you, sir?
I'd been meaning to ask this before, but why are you still on the witness stand?
Are you suggesting I should leave my dear partner alone with strangers who cannot even sing?
Huh?
The very sight of cracker causes the finest of songs to effortlessly form in my mind. Stilton, cheddar, or smoked cheese. I like my crackers with any of these. That was the cracker song. Is it not crisp and full of flavor? It's confusing as hell and not relevant. Right, anyway, would you mind remaining quiet for the rest of the crackers cross-examination?
I suddenly got the munchies.
Continue the entire... Did they even have that term back in these, old century things? Here, I'm just gonna skip through the rest of this here.
He seems to be saying, "Don't ask me, mate."
Defender, this is getting us nowhere.
It would seem so, Your Honor.
Yeah, I can see that myself.
By the way, I was the one who opened the door. I was worried about the professor, so I barged right in the room. Poor Luke.
Hold it!
I think we all can agree that this sounds like Miss Primstone, right?
When we entered the room, we all kind of reacted in surprise.
You have anything to say now?
Hang on!
Mr. Birdley, can I ask you something? So many questions for Birdie the Bard, but most of them I shall disregard. I have felt your keen gaze upon me for a while now. You can't help admiring me, can you? The statement you heard earlier, was there anything you'd like to comment on?
I wonder if there was. My peerless companion, what do you think?
Hang on! Hang on! Hang on!
Oh, right. He's imitating you perfectly. How adorable.
I can't say I share your love for the bird. Smella, it feels like it's mocking me.
Objection! Objection!
Carry on with the interrogation.
Well, shit, now I need to... Got... This bastard keeps on, like, you know, blocking me from getting the entirety of the, of this thing. When we entered the room, we all kind of reacted in surprise.
But I guess the teacher's voice stifled all the rest.
Miss Brimstone is known for her stentorian voice of authority, allowing her to easily rise above the chatter of unruly children. Her voice would still be ringing in the pupils' ears long after the class is finished. Ah, that takes me back. If only Maya's scream was as easily recognizable.
Right, let's move on to the next sound.
Clang!
That must be the sound of the professor falling over, I guess.
Professor?
Again, do you have something to say?
Hang on!
Mr. Birdley, can I ask you something? So many questions for Birdley the Bard, but most of them I still disregard. Oh, fucking shit. Come on! You shite bag. At least there aren't any penalties for, like, asking further questions with people. Go door!
Hold it! La, 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 la.
I guess I better not pursue this one. Luke, you poor thing. Alright, so this is the last bit of it. So this had better open up some kind of a door or we're in trouble. Like, go door.
Hold it!
That's the magic incantation, isn't it?
Objection!
Preposterous! At this stage, the victim was already on the floor. The transmutation spell had to have been used much earlier than that. I wonder. Well, let's take a gander at this, eh? I mean, yeah, in theory, that's exactly how it's supposed to work. Transmutes the caster's target into solid gold. The spell will transmute the closest target within range. Okay, so... closest thing within range. Okay. It doesn't say anything about the pacing of when the word is said. I mean, it would make sense that the word is said before it actually happens. Luke, what about you? Did you hear the incantation too?
La, 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 la.
Did you hear the incantation too?
Hang on!
Mr. Birdley, can I ask you something? You bastard. Again, he just seems to be the block for this entire round, like just a distraction.
Go door!
Hold it!
Okay. Luke, please. Help.
La, 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 la.
I'm sorry. I can't seem to remember. After I saw the professor in that state, my memory of what happened next just isn't clear.
I'm sorry, Luke. I know this is very painful for you. Anyhow, the important thing is that incantation. Somehow I get the feeling there's something odd about it. It just doesn't seem quite right.
Do you think there's anything important in Mr. Cracker's testimony?
There does seem to be a fundamental problem with what he's repeated. Why would the incantation come after the professor was turned to gold?
But Mr. Cracker can't tell lies, right?
Yeah. He can only repeat the sounds he's heard. Maybe we're just misinterpreting Cracker's testimony. For the time being, let's have another look at the court record and the Grand Grimoire. Is he saying it backwards? I doubt it. The only thing I can think is that somehow I need to present the grimoire. That's about it. So let me try that. Goldor transmutation spell transmutes the caster's target into solid gold. The spell will transmute the closest target within range.
Objection!
I don't know how, but apparently it's true. Okay. There's a critical contradiction in this testimony. We are all aware of that, Sir Blue Knight. This contradiction is between your so-called desire to find the truth and the fact that you are interrogating a parrot. That's not what I'm talking about, Inquisitor. There is a contradiction here that makes one thing particularly clear. The fact that we have clearly all made a wrong assumption. How so? Luke, can you ask Cracker to repeat the incantation once more?
Right you are.
Godor! Godor!
Godor. According to the Grand Grimoire, the name of the gold transmutation spell is Goldor. Now, Inquisitor, it would seem to me that the spell we've just heard is in fact a different one entirely. It's similar enough. I didn't get the spelling thing.
Well, I never. Unbelievable. Goldor and Goldor.
Objection!
This is ridiculous. That wretched bird must have misheard the incantation.
Objection!
Cracker is able to imitate sounds perfectly. The incantation was indeed misheard, but only by the people hearing it.
Objection!
The victim was found already in his golden state. That is proof enough that the Goldor spell was used. Yeah, no. But you're forgetting that Cracker heard this incantation after the spell had already taken place. Which makes it entirely possible that this Goldor spell was used as well. In other words, another spell besides the gold transmutation magic must also have been used.
Another spell that we haven't yet considered.
Now, the next question that needs to be asked is, just what is this Goldor spell?
Objection!
Utter foolishness, this is absurd. As convenient as it would be for you, there is no way that a spell by the name of Goldor exists.
Oh, Mr. Wright.
Huh, what is it?
I found it. The page about the spell, Goldor. It's listed in the Grand Grimoire. Right here.
It exists? What?
What does it do? What does it do? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Order, order, I demand order!
Just like I thought. Cracker remembered it exactly.
But then, what kind of magic is this Goldor?
Well, my lord, the Grand Grimoire describes it in the following way. Goldor creates a portal on two sides of green-colored walls. The portal will disappear after 5 minutes.
Creates a portal
On a green-colored wall. A portal spell. Shit. Oh my god. Aren't you a lucky man? It appears even the Grand Grimoire is on your side. However, there's a fatal flaw in your explanation.
Huh? What flaw is that, Inquisitor?
It is really quite simple. Think back to how the alchemist's study looked at the time of the incident. Do you remember any green walls? Because I do not. There were none. All the walls were coated with white plaster. In other words, it was impossible to use Goldor in that room. Oh, really?
I too have visited that alchemist's study since the incident. I remember very well that all the walls in that room were a dull shade of white.
Your little theory was interesting, Sir Knight in Blue, but it has proven to be nothing more than that, a mere wild guess. As long as you cannot prove that this Godor spell was used, your little theory shall be considered no further.
In all honesty, I was very surprised to learn of such a spell's existence. However, as long as it was impossible to have used the spell at the crime scene, your deduction leads us nowhere. So, let me ask you now.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you perchance have any proof that you could show us? Can you prove that it was feasible for the witch to have used Godor in the room?
Yes. This is no coincidence. That spell must have been used at the crime scene. But do I have the proof that it was even possible to use... Yes! Yes, I do. It's been on my mind for a while. That inexplicable mark. It has to be the evidence that ties up all the loose ends. The defense wishes to present evidence.
Impossible. The determination in your eyes made me think you would. Now then, we shall allow the defense to present its evidence to the court. Present that proof that the spell Godor was used at the scene of the crime. Herpaflarp.
Take that!
The walls in the study are coated with white plaster. Not all of them, though. There is just one spot which is green.
Oh, there is?
I noticed it when investigating the crime scene. You may recall that there was a small painting behind the desk. And for some reason, the wall behind it was painted green.
It was what? I recall seeing that painting myself too. If we look at that floor plan, I'd say it was around here.
Mr. Wright, I'll mark it on the floor plan.
It's been bothering me since I saw it, but now it's clear what it was. At the time of the incident, a portal opened up behind that painting. In other words, that was the wall utilized for the spell Godor. And now that opens up an entire other question. Why was the walls painted green in the first place? And why did a certain individual do it?
You're certainly persistent. You just want a portal to be there so much, don't you?
Kinda. The wall behind the painting was green, and that's a fact. Incidentally, I remember that painting well. It was a small landscape piece. About the size of, say, an open grand grimoire.
Yes, it was about that size, indeed. A small, adorable picture.
Even if a portal had opened in that small patch of green, no person would be able to pass through it. In fact, they'd just about be able to put their arm through at the most. So will you please explain how a witch could possibly have escaped through a portal that small?
He's right, Mr. Wright. No one could have got through the portal that small.
Have you anything to say? Or are you so crushed by the realization of your mistake that words fail you? No. The portal was too small for a person. It doesn't require much thinking to figure that out. But that aside, a very obvious question remains. If it wasn't a human, then what could have passed through that portal? You put an interesting spin on things. Why don't you answer your own question? You talk as if you know everything, so please enlighten us. A small portal was opened in the wall at the crime scene. And I have all the clues as to what that could mean. And just in case I screw this up, I'm putting this down so that I don't. What went through the portal was the witch. A small animal. Something else. Well, thinking about animals, what could potentially, I mean, the first thing that kind of pops into my brain is maybe a parrot. But why would he? Something else could have maybe potentially passed that. I don't know. I have one thing, one theory in particular that's kind of screwing with me, and it's either a small animal or something else. Just because it seems very specific, I am going to gun for a small animal. A human wouldn't be able to squeeze through that portal, which leaves us with just one other possibility. It was a small animal, like a ferret, or a cat, or maybe even a...
Mr. Wright, I'd appreciate it if you stopped stealing glances of Cracker.
Hang on! Squawk, hang on!
Are you suggesting that my peerless musical companion was somehow involved in this crime?
What's certain is this. The portal opened and that wall would have been about the size of this book. It would be too small for a person. As for your suggestion regarding small animals, let me suggest that you leave this court. Shit.
Yes. Well, enough of this small talk. The defense's answer clearly made no sense. Shit. Okay.
So it was clearly something else. No human could have passed through a portal that small. Even a witch couldn't have pulled that off. So, are you finally forsaking your mistaken assumption? I haven't finished, Inquisitor. The fact remains that something else could have passed through the portal. Oh, and just what would that be, Sir Blue Knight? The portal was created after the professor had been turned into gold. The witch had a good reason behind that. She must have had to move something through that portal.
You have captured my curiosity. I'd like to know what passed through that portal. Tell us, what did the witch use that magic portal for?
I wonder if the Grimoire could have... Well, actually, no, I wonder if the Talia Magica could have potentially fit through it. Also, I wonder what gem would have potentially... Is it located in here? So where would this gem be, is the question. Unless we find this gem sitting somewhere. I don't know if we can use this. Anyway. What would have fit through it? The only thing I could possibly think is that we would be attempting to try and throw the staff through.
Take that!
Considering the state of the crime scene, there's just one possible answer. And that is the Talia Magica.
Objection!
What? What's that now? The Talia Magica was found at the crime scene. A portal has nothing to do with it.
Objection!
Inquisitor Barnum, you're making the wrong assumption. Wrong assumption? The witch wasn't trying to remove evidence from the crime scene. She wanted to plant it. She threw the witch's scepter into the room through that portal.
Objection!
You and your crazy theories. Do you even realize what you're saying? If she threw the staff into the room, that means... Exactly. She did it to deceive us. Her goal was to make us draw the wrong conclusions. When the incident took place, the witch herself wasn't in the room. She cast the spell from outside. What? Ta-da. Just the gold shimmery statue sitting directly next to me. Sadness.
Order, I say!
And that's not all. There's even more proof that the staff was thrown into the room from the outside. What proof? That proof is none other than Professor Layton's previously severed right arm.
The victim's arm? How does that prove anything?
None of the witnesses have testified they saw the witch's scepter. However, a few of them claim to have heard it rattling across the floor. That's right. Please, take a look at this floor plan. Since the arm was standing upright here, we know the defendant couldn't have been the one to have dropped the scepter. Now, think about it. Where would you need to drop the scepter from in order for it to end up here?
Oh!
That's right. The scepter could only have come from the small portal created by the spell Godor. Well, let's see how that pans out.
This is the most unexpected... Oh, this is most unexpected. The witch wasn't in the room when the crime occurred. Or at least, that's the defense's claim.
It's the only thing that explains all the contradictions we've run into.
Objection!
And yet, you seem to not think so. Sir Blue Knight, with that imagination of yours, you could aspire to write fantasy stories. A nice try, I must admit. However, this line of assertion is futile. There's a glaring contradiction in your words.
Another contradiction? Whatever are you referring to, Inquisitor Bottom?
This is the Talia Magica that was used in the incident. As we have established, there are 2 magical gems in it. One for the gold transmutation spell, Gold Door, and one for the shadow familiar spell from Malia. A witch in possession of this staff would not have been able to cast Gold Door. Yeah. True. Yes, you're absolutely right. But you can't write off all the evidence supporting my theory as mere coincidence. Why must your agreement always be followed by a but? What I'm getting at is, this Talia Magica is not genuine.
Not genuine?
That's right. And naturally, the one responsible for this deception is the real culprit of the crime.
Enough of the suspense. It's too much for a man my age. The defense shall reveal what is meant by this so-called deception.
One of these gems is probably not shaped right. So give me a moment. Let me see. That gem looks to be fine. That gem also seems to be fine. Yeah, no, it seems fine. So, what would it be? What's strange about this so-called thing? The top, perhaps? No. No, I have... That's a good question. Here. Summons 4th magical familiar to the shadows. Although it possesses a physical form, it is completely weightless. Okay. Transmutes the caster target to solid gold. The spell will transmute the closest target within range. I don't know.
Got it.
Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm thinking it may be this gold ore magic gem.
What? The gold or magic gem is fake?
Think about it. Magic that turns stuff into gold. I mean, that sort of thing only... Oh, fuck me. I didn't mean to do that. The touchscreen was very finicky there. Okay, alright. Well, alright. The only thing I can think now at this stage... Could the other gem potentially be fake as well? I guess I'll save her.
Got it.
The music stopped. First, I want to clarify one thing. Can we be certain that the Talia Magica in question is authentic? Without a doubt? The metal rod in its center is called the Spina Magica, which is mark on its tip is clearly visible and highly detailed. It's impossible to forge even by the finest craftsman in all Labyrinthia. I can guarantee you its authenticity. That leaves us with only one possibility. The forgery in question is... the Familiar Magic Gem!
What? A forged magic gem?
Objection!
That is an insult to our investigators.
Objection.
Only witches can use the power of these magic gems, can't they? So tell me, how can you know whether a magic gem is the real thing or not?
Objection!
Hold it right there. We know for certain that the spell Goldor was used. It is undoubtedly not forged. But what about Familia? Familia. Did anything actually see a familiar at the crime scene? Anyone?
That's 3 months ago, when an investigation was carried out into Sir Belduke's death, the results yielded the following conclusion. The spell Familiar had been used to summon a familiar, which in turn carried out the murder.
And the witch used exactly that to her advantage. Another similar incident at the same crime scene. Don't you think that would be the perfect opportunity for the witch to frame the defendant for her crimes? The defendant would be blamed for both the professor and Sir Belduke's death, and she'd be taken for the real witch.
Oh!
Yo. That was the real culprit's objective. What's your proof, sir?
There's a chapter in the Magic Archive, an old collection of tales of the occult, about the way to test whether or not a magic gem is genuine.
How can we test it, my lord?
It is very simple. A genuine magic gem is composed of a mineral with a density lower than that of pure water. All you need to do is see if the magic gem floats on water.
That is simple indeed.
All non-magical minerals in our world, with the exception of sipulite and a few other special kinds, sink in water. These eerily sparkling magic gems, however, will never sink when put into water. Bailiff, remove the magic gems for immediate examination.
The magic gems? A fake? What's up with this trial? This is not how it was supposed to be.
That's all right, darling. Don't cry. You'll get to see a witch burning today. Sir Barnum never disappoints. Hush now. There.
Barnum. Ego fluff.
Defender, if your theory is correct, this could be the biggest occult crime in history. But another important question remains. I wonder if you can answer it. Who is the supposed real witch that threw the Talia Magica through the portal?
The real witch. There's only one person that comes to mind. Well, if it has to be a female. Frankly, I still find it hard to believe, but it's the only possibility. Once I indict her, there'll be no turning back. Knowing the consequences, should I give them her name?
Mr. Wright, in Labyrinthia, witches are punished by fire. I know you think that's going too far, but even in a world that seems so insane to you, those who take the lives of others must be punished. That's a universal law, isn't it?
The witch turned the professor into a golden statue. And that's not all. She took the life of an alchemist too. And now she's trying to pin the whole thing on Maya. I can't just let her get away with that.
Well then, defense, let us hear your theory. Who is the witch responsible for using... Alright.
It has to be a woman. So, I don't think it would have to be Jean. Don't think it's Jean. The only woman that I could possibly think of here would be Miss Primstone.
Take that!
I can't do it! It's too much responsibility! What if I'm wrong and an innocent person gets burned because of me? Are you aware of what decides a knight's true worth? It is their readiness to deal the final blow, the courage to raise their sword. Your sword hand is weak and shaky. It is not befitting a knight of the court. Shit! Okay, I think I actually know who it is now. Ow!
Who is this witch?
I can only think of one person, Your Honor. Jean Grey Earl.
Take that!
When you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be true. There's only one logical possibility. It has to be that person. The real witch is... Jean Grey Earl.
Grey Earl?
I've heard that name somewhere. Wait, isn't that the butler who served Sir Belduke?
That's correct.
Pfft. What's this about? You seem to love rolling out these ridiculous suggestions, but you ignore the obvious. Jean Grey Earl is a male.
Or fake. Inquisitor Barnum, tell me one thing. Is it only females who could be witches?
Are you daft? Of course it's only females. Never in the history of this court has there ever been a male witch. You're so utterly ignorant. You should be ashamed of yourself.
All right, well, I'd like to ask another question. Is Jean Grey Earl really a male? Oh, shit.
What? What a ludicrous question.
The defense is certain that Jean Grey Earl is the witch responsible for using magic on Professor Layton. How are we going to prove this one?
Strip?
No.
Will you stop fooling around? This is a groundless accusation.
Groundless, you say? I'm afraid that's where you're wrong. At the time of the crime, Jean Grey Earl was in the room next to the alchemist's study. And on the walls in the very room... one of the walls in that very room was painted green.
It was?
What's more, that green wall was the one adjacent to Sir Belduke's study.
What? This is madness! Inquisitor Barnum, quickly, have the butler summoned to the court. Have Jean Grey Earl brought here immediately. Certainly, my lord, it shall be done.
There is no need for that.
Uh-oh.
I am here.
Howdy,
I shall
ma'am.
come down right away.
Ah, it's you.
Well then, Mr. Wright, shall we begin?
Jean Grey Earl.
It would seem this trial has turned in a new direction. I think we all need a bit of time to take it in. We shall take a brief intermission. Inquisition, defense, sharpen your swords and wits to prepare yourselves for the next stage of this battle.
Yes, Your Honor.
It shall be done, my lord. By the time we resume, the examination into the magic gem should have ended as well. Now, the court is adjourned for a brief intermission.
And this brief intermission is the perfect opportunity for me to leave it off for the night. I'm actually kind of glad that I finished it off when I did, because I got plans tonight. And that's the reason why I started the stream about an hour early. Sorry about that. If it threw anybody off, I apologize. But hey, we got a full Phoenix Wright and, Professor Layton episode tonight, and I think it actually worked out pretty good. That's the frickin' statue. Don't let the rats chew him. But anyways, that should do it for the stream. I need to get going here and get things started. So thanks everybody who popped into the stream. Plenty of people just hung out today, and I appreciate it very much. If you want to take a look at this episode after it's done, I'm going to be taking it to a chopping block and cutting down some of the parts where I screwed up. Not hardcore. Basically, you'll see the screw-ups, but it'll just cut to the cleaner points where it's just like, okay, this is the real answer. I dropped the stylus. But anyways, I'm going to be editing it, and I'll be uploading it up to the YouTube channel after that is done. I've been working on a very tiny backlog, but I should be able to get it out relatively soon. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I would go into detail about a bunch of the games that I'm currently playing, but again, I got to get a move on. So again, thanks everybody for coming out. See you next time.